Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the MNC Show. We are live.
We are definitely live, and hopefully everybody can hear us. I hope the audio's great. Guys in the audience, please let us know if audio sounds good. We are still working things out and trying to get everything up and running back to the expected performance that you guys all deserve. That being said, we got a great Sunday show for you guys. We got Crap Gamer here. The great Crap Gamer is with us tonight. And I do want to say this much, guys, take a look right above that description that I wrote. That lovely, detailed description is the join button. Please do hit that button anytime you feel comfortable and join the Mooch Maniac family. I know Crap loves it when I do my little micro machines act here and I read these names off so fast.
Micro machines, yeah.
Right? Get those micro machines right out right now. And
yeah.
we get the Mooch Maniac channel members. That's Sir X-Man, Midway 7 Monster, JudaZuk, WoolleyGamer, Ben Link, TrueWiddy, The Wise Old Gamer, Failed Pyromancer, Frostbite Slash, Jacob Evans, Tactical Gamer, Marlesco, Wraith The Emperor, Anthony Boyd, Zombilla Ice Cream, CustodsX, Hustle and Motivate, L.D.W, DragonHeartYoby, AceJunky, the Mooch Maniacs, The Finest, Windingo, 4-Star General, Shaun Slamka, Brian B, a.k.a. Delirium Blades, Audible, Fart 507, and our VIP Mooch Maniacs, MexJ88, Remarkable Nights, Van W, a.k.a. the Butcher Van. Happy birthday. It's his birthday weekend, the Butcher. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. And then Rich Kreischer, Rated D Demonic, Percolator 9000, and the great Marty Bison. Our honorable mentions are Eddie T, Ice Queen Gaming, WilmyHood, and the forever Mooch Maniac, Longshot 316. Crap, we have got a lot of news to cover today. I hope you're ready. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. You know, the pre-show is always pretty fun.
It is.
Like that, it's usually stuff. It's like, damn, man, like, you know, you can imagine like when John Lennon and McCartney are just cracking up and making jokes prior to recording shit. That's basically what it's like in the MNC room, right? We're sitting there,
yes.
like we're sitting there. 1 minute we're talking about, you know, Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit. Then you guys are talking about getting the show running because of those issues. Meanwhile, I'm over there looking at Limp Bizkit videos because I was like, oh yeah, that reminds me of that damn song I haven't heard in 15 years. You know what I mean?
I know, man.
Yeah,
it is great. It's like we're in the recording studio before anybody actually went on stage. It's great.
It's great stuff. But everybody that's here, please like the video, share it out, all that kind of good stuff. There is a lot of cool stuff to talk about. So that's always a good thing. You know what I mean? So I do appreciate everybody that comes out. Make sure you subscribe. Let's get Mooch over 10,000. A travesty.
A travesty it is.
Does not have 10,000 subscribers. I cannot believe it.
I can't either.
Dude, I could have woke up this morning with my legs super glued together and you know what I mean? And I wouldn't have been more surprised. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. Like Mooch doesn't have 10,000 subscribers. Get out of here. Especially considering you had like 1,000 something before you even had a video.
This is true.
You know? So yeah, let's get that going, man. Let's get Mooch over that 10,000 mark. If you guys are watching.
I appreciate that, brother. I really do appreciate the endorsement. We got our buddy here, Nova. Nova, how you doing this morning, buddy?
What's going on, guys? I'm doing good. As you know from the pre-show, I'm totally prepared and ready for today.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm excited to get into it.
Nova got an extra hour of sleep today. He decided that was not enough. He's going to go the extra round. He goes, I'm taking 3. You take 1, Mooch. Yep. I'm going to Mooch 2 more.
I tell you what, because that's what I tweeted. I tweeted out this morning, right? I was like, it's going to be a good day. I was like, I got my extra hour of sleep back. The wife kicked it out wide this morning. I'm good. Great tweet. She made me breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I got a back massage afterwards too. I must be doing something right. You know what I'm saying?
Watch back day. Not your birthday.
You know that's what I'm saying. I didn't even get that treatment on my birthday. So. You know, yeah, great times. And, you know, I'm in a good mood. Plus, my Ravens are going to kick the crap out of the Steelers today. That's always a good time. You know, again, this has the makings of a phenomenal day. And we're that much closer to the PlayStation 5 launch, which gets me really excited. I ran a poll yesterday on Twitter because a lot of people don't know. I have a Series X, you know, pre-ordered as well. And a lot of people go, you hypocrite, whatever. And I'm like, listen. I do podcasts. I do gaming-related content. How the hell? It's going to be quite boring.
I did not talk about it.
It's going to be quite boring for the rest of the year when everybody's talking about both these consoles, and I would only have one. So, but I will 100% factually say, if it wasn't for the fact that I do that, I would have just saved my $500 and just got the PS5 and waited for something to come out that I was interested in. Because I feel like I could have kept my One X and it would have been serviceable for a while longer anyway, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
absolutely.
So I ran the poll. I was like, which one should I get? Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, or
who's the winner?
Watch Dogs? Watch Dogs.
That's what I think I'm going to go with for the Series X as well. I'm going to go Watch Dogs on that.
I need a new game,
crap. I got to play something new. You know, I can't.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing for me. People are like, "Why not just boot back up Gears?" And I'm like, "I hated that shit in 2019."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I don't. It's not exactly my thing, but so I would rather play something new at least. At least that game looks good and it has some next gen features like ray tracing or whatever. So again, the funny part is, Mooch, that's a 30 frames per second game. It's like I bought me the CX, which, as you know, you actually kind of recommended that. You're like, you got to go OLED. You got to go OLED.
Got to go OLED.
You're right. You're right, right? Like, and I don't get the people that hate on OLED. I guess a lot of people think it's easy to burn in. I got to tell you what, OLEDs are almost impossible to burn in because if you leave it still for any amount of time, it just automatically goes into like a screensaver. And not only that, but these things have things built into them now. Like, even if you watch a channel that has the name of the channel at the screen, it lightens those up by itself. So that there's no burn. Like, literally, you couldn't burn this stuff in if you tried. So a lot of people are like, oh, burn in. Yeah. Like, literally, you can't. Like, I got a 4-year thing on mine, so just in case.
Absolutely.
But like, I got to tell you, when you're playing games, I put up Ghost of Tsushima net. Oh my god, it's like a painting. You know what I mean? Even stuff like Madden. Just looks amazing on it. So it
changes the game. It's a game changer. OLED has been a game changer for years, and now it's but here's the thing though, crap. With the CX model not only giving you the 120 frame option with the HDMI 2.1, it's also become more affordable, right? I mean, you get a 55-inch CX, I think, for $14.99 or lower now.
Yeah, they're like $1,300 for the 55.
That's an outstanding price.
Yeah, it is. I did the 65.
Yes,
and for me, I think that it was like a little bit more expensive. But somebody was saying in the chat that Costco has the 55s for like $1,300 right now, which is a phenomenal deal.
Cheaper than the 49.
Yeah, it is. Trust me, you get that, you'll be set, man.
Not to.
It's 100% true. Like, I used to be one of those people that was like, TV's TV or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But no, like, and not only just that, but even watching stuff, it's like almost like everything looks like a public access, like that camera movement and stuff. Like, I don't know, it takes me a while to get used to it. Like, the frame super refresh rate and stuff is super high. So it's up there. I see somebody saying Legion is kind of disappointing. I get it, but what the hell else am I going to get?
It's mixed reviews crap right now. I know it's sitting somewhere in the mid 70s or low 70s on Meta, but I mean, in all honesty, it's like you said, what else are we going to play right now? I'm not an Assassin's Creed fan. You are. You might be able to dabble with Valhalla. I can't get into it. I can't, and I won't. I do want to say this much. Shout out to everybody. Guys.
I can't, and I won't.
I can't, and I won't. Guys, let everybody know that we are here and we are live. We go a little bit later than we sometimes advertise, so people aren't really sure, and our West Coasters are just waking up as we speak. So tweet it out, let everybody know. The link is in the chat, and it's right there below if you hit the share button. Crap, we did get a super chat while we were waiting behind the scenes. I do want to read the super chat, but I don't know if I want to talk about it first. So, Cubini Gaming says, Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S consoles are the only consoles with full hardware support for the RDNA2 capabilities AMD showcase per AMD. Kubini, so you're right, and I still think that you're wrong. So I will give full credit to Moore's Law, that is the name of the channel. The gentleman went through and he gets into detail on how Xbox's RDNA2 is not true full RDNA2 in a sense, and the Sony one is also not. Both are custom in a sense. I won't speak for him, but do check it out. He does a fantastic job of going over both Microsoft and Sony's approach and how they handled RDNA2.
Well, the main thing, and I don't claim to be like a tech guy or anything. I guess Sony took out some of the desktop parts or whatever, like the desktop features or whatever, and incorporated their own custom stuff. So it's not like they don't have RDNA2. Like, I don't, it's, to me, okay. So, and I've been very honest. Like, me, Mooch. I like the console war. It's kind of funny. It's kind of fun to get into that.
Absolutely.
I don't take it seriously, but there is like lately sort of this like, and it's funny because I have this, and you've seen it because we know WZR Cup's a Browns fan, and there's that wheel, right? It's like play a good game, beat an inferior team, and it goes around in a circle, and it's like talks back, then get beat, and then underdog roll, and then it's like this that repeats. It's like, it seems like a lot of people do that, right? Like, for a long time it was 12 T-flops and then RDNA2, and then it's like, The games are the most important thing, man. You think the people that are buying a Switch in record numbers care about RDNAs? No, they're buying that thing for the exclusive games, man, for the games.
The thing. Listen, like you said, you started your sentiment just right. We love the console wars. I think it could be a lot of fun.
I do, but it is silly lately.
When it gets to this point.
Packaging, Mooch, packaging,
right? Let's talk about that.
We're talking about practice. We're talking about packaging here.
We're talking about styrofoam.
Like Mooch. Oh my gosh. Like some of this stuff. I had to sign off Twitter for a little bit after that. Like you got people that are like, look at the packaging. And I'm like, are we really talking about packaging?
I literally, that was the fastest like flicker through Twitter I've ever gone through. I'm like, that doesn't make it. That's not even fun to discuss. I'm not going to get into packaging tape. Listen, I think that when it comes down to it, like you said, I said you're going to have a situation here. And shout out to the Xbox Pope. There's nothing like waking up in the morning and having the great Xbox Pope bless your podcast. Shout out to Tommy. Outstanding individual, very talented man.
And shout out to his Instagram. Like he always posts his. He makes custom like PS4s, Xbox Ones, all that kind of stuff. He's got a lot of stuff cooking. Very famous guy.
I love that I can say this crap. I'm not at liberty to say, but let me just tell you guys something. Make sure you follow the Xbox Pope on Twitter if you're not already. He's got some great stuff.
Also his Instagram. He's got great stuff on there as well. He always posts stuff there. It's fantastic stuff. He takes requests, like fan requests on, hey, I'd like this type of Xbox or this type of PlayStation.
Yes.
And he does a great job with it. And I'm happy to see like his Instagram and stuff blow up, and he's got a lot of people that follow him, and he's got a lot of cool, I've talked to him. I can't really share any of the details, but he does a lot of good work for a lot of famous people and a lot of good people. And he's got a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipeline. So this guy does stuff that, better than the stuff that we've seen from the actual companies themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like amazing stuff. So make sure you guys follow the Xbox Pope.
At least say this much too. I apologize. I was just shouting. Shout out to I Paint Houses. I was just writing them in the chat. Lugo here in the super chat. By the way, guys, thank you so much for the super chats. Lugo says, I told everyone this. The PS5 is clocked 70% faster, which means rasterization goes 70% faster. Processing, the command buffer goes 70% faster, etc. Teraflops is just one part of the GPU. Lugo, you're not the only one to say that. Also, we've had the great Optimus Code say that the teraflops are not to say all end all. And you really, guys, I got to say, please go check out Moore's Law. Is that his channel? He really gets into the other aspects of why Microsoft went with the higher teraflops. And his reasoning, it holds water, and it's quite interesting. Now, whether you want to believe it or not, listen, that's fine. I think what he's saying holds water. But do check it out after the show. And shout out to Lugo. A lot of what Lugo's saying is also what I've seen many developers and people in the business saying as well. Shout out to Cool Hand Cruz. He says, Mooch, let's get Mooch to 10,000 subs. Absolutely. Thanks for the endorsement. Guys, tweet it out. Let everybody know we're live. But crap, before we get into the RDNA2 stuff, which is an interesting topic in itself.
I can hardly wait.
Right? I know. Let's get into something that's a little bit more relevant here. And that is mindshare console sales. And then let's get into how possibly the DualSense impacts both of those two subjects I just said. What I mean by that crap is this. You've got a situation where we've had Sony come out and say that they're estimating 7.5 million PS5s by March of 2021. We haven't seen any kind of predictions from analysts saying where the Xbox Series X will be. Here's my thing.
Well, Pactor said that the Xbox Series X will end up he said the PS5 this year alone will outsell by 5 million. So, I mean, there's that.
There's many analysts saying that he's one. I just think that when it comes down to it, you've got new games coming out for PlayStation where Xbox is lacking there. And then you also have, literally no joke, you have a situation where we don't know, you said this on Friday's Crossfire crap, that there's nothing in the 2021 playing field that we know is coming for the Series X, except for possibly Halo at the end of the year. And from what we're hearing with all the changes, I would not be surprised if Halo is moved to 2022, because like you said, don't rush Halo. Like, don't. And I'm very happy to see Microsoft's making those moves at 343. We've been asking for it, and I think that is a true statement. So I'm not going to sit here and bash that one bit. I'm going to go ahead and say that I legitimately think that it's a great move that they did that with 343. They moved management around. They got new leadership in there. And you know what? If it takes more than a year, crap, that's fine. But the mind share right now, you're going into the holidays with Demon Souls, Godfall, Spider-Man. You guys don't realize the impact that Spider-Man is going to have on the PS5 sales. You guys, I think you know, but we're going to be shocked at how much it's going to exceed what you even think already it will do. So, crap, what do you think here? Is mindshare is it going to be too late for Xbox by the time they get on, when they get all gears running? No pun intended.
Well, I think that honestly, I think like the whole mindshare thing, I think it's too late for Xbox to beat the PlayStation. And the main thing is, and I think it doesn't help, is that Microsoft themselves play this whole kind of coy, we don't really care if we sell this or that. You know what I'm saying? Like that in and of itself makes it difficult for people to kind of, because even I sit there and I go, what? You don't even care if I buy your crap? You know what I'm saying? Like when they're sitting there saying that, it doesn't it thrill you with that whole welcoming aspect of, oh my gosh, we're going to do this, this, and this. It's like, okay, like, you know, I would much rather have them say that they actually want me to buy their platform instead of, we don't care. We'll be fine either way. We're good without you. You know, like that to me anyway, like that's how I feel. But I do think that no matter what Microsoft did, and I try to tell people this because we all know somebody that went out on that limb and said that the Xbox will outsell the PlayStation, right? We all know somebody that said that. It's ridiculous that anybody would say that because it's not happening. First of all, PlayStation is a huge worldwide brand. Xbox isn't. Xbox is really only popular in the UK and the US. So, I mean, other than that, I think pretty much PlayStation kicks his butt everywhere. And, you know, and a big part of that is you have games that really appeal to a wide variety audience. So you might go, and I understand what the angry Xbox quote unquote fanboy is saying right now, not the level-headed Xbox fanboy or Xbox fan, because they probably will agree with what I'm about to say. But you can go, well, Microsoft doesn't need to sell consoles. They're doing this, this, or this. Well, then you look over and you see that Sony is selling 1.5 billion pieces of software, which is a record, and they have almost 50 million paying PlayStation Plus subscribers. The more consoles you sell, the more ability you have to sell services, you have to sell software and other things. So while I do think people that go, well, they don't need to because they got phones and TVs and smart fridges and this, okay, but if you don't got the games to sell your hardware, how the hell do you got the games to sell any of the other stuff? Right? Like people don't understand it. They go hand in hand. If you're selling your console based on the games, then the other stuff can flourish too. If you don't have the stuff to sell your console, you don't have the stuff to sell it on a cloud. You don't have the stuff to sell it anywhere, right? Like people don't understand that. Microsoft playing the long game. They're playing the long game, all right. Wait some more. Wait till E3. Wait till this. Wait till that. Right? Like again, it's not going to matter if you don't have the content. They're about to, you know, by the time they actually have stuff that's going to be relevant in 2023, 2024, they're going to be so far behind that it's really not going to matter.
That's the thing, crap. And a lot of the things that you're seeing Microsoft do, like the acquisition of Bethesda or ZeniMax, however you want to look at it, that's not necessarily just to have the conversation we've been having recently on Twitter and saying, well, this is going to be exclusive to Xbox. This is more about the fact, if you look at what they bought when they bought that, they got Bethesda Works, right? They got Arcane. They got id Software. They've gotten a lot of IP, which is the right move for them, because let's be honest, it's not about them holding these things captive to exclusivity on the Xbox platform or PC. It's the idea that they have more content to put into Game Pass, because Game Pass is, listen, everybody's saying Game Pass, great value, right? But how long has it been now? Even you guys that are big fans of Game Pass, how long has it been since we've seen a big game go into Game Pass, right? It's been basically since Red Dead Redemption 2, because the big value in Game Pass is what? Microsoft first party. And there is no Microsoft first party games for the foreseeable future. So when they grabbed Bethesda, you know, ZeniMax, that was a big move for them. And I'm not going to say anything bad about it. That was something they needed to do. Not because necessarily they're going to keep it exclusive, but because they can keep content in a revolving door for Game Pass. And guys, if you don't see that, that's what we've been trying to say to you guys. The Xbox that you knew from 360 going into Xbox One, the first 3-4 years of Xbox One, and hey, we're in it to win it and all that stuff. It's a different Xbox right now. I'm not saying it's a bad one. I'm not saying it's bad at all. All I'm saying to you is it's different. And there's nothing wrong with that if you care for it. But like you said, if you're a traditionalist and you can't wait for November 10th, like people have been asking me, Nova actually asked me before the show started. He's like, Mooch, so what are you doing on, the console launch days? And I'm like, well, I'm going to be taking a day off and enjoying the consoles. But I'm more than likely on November 12th going to go to the midnight release, get my PS5, right? Come home, hook it up, and I might at 2 a.m. New York time play Demon Souls and just start streaming, or Miles Morales, whatever I want. Maybe even Astrobot, just to kind of get a sense and enjoy and let people know how I'm feeling the DualSense controller and how that reacts to the game. But I don't think I'm going to be doing a midnight pick up and then review and play through and set up on the 10th, because I'm not going to come home and play Gears 5 again. I'm not going to come home and play Left 4 Dead 2 at 300 frames. Like, I can't, I'm not going to play Yakuza at 120 frames. Like, that's not like what I want to do.
Well,
Yakuza's
so, like, not 120 frames, so you got that.
That's right. That's true too. That is true. That is not. But I mean, like, my point being, that's a good point. But like, my whole thing is that I think the hype and excitement of a traditionalist is that you want to come home, right? I was having fun yesterday, just goofing around, having fun with the DualSense controller. Like, it's just a controller. But that's what I'm saying. You know what's different about it, crap? It's new.
Yeah.
It's new. It feels different. It works differently. I'm telling you, Sony really stepped up their game. Now, that's why I said it's going to be the first controller to compete with the Xbox brand of controllers.
Yeah, I'm hearing nothing but good thing. I think I might get mine today too. They said that it's in or whatever, because I had ordered a second one as well. So I mean, again, yeah, I think that it's something that is going to be, it's changing. Look, Sony didn't have to do anything, Mooch. They could have released basically a DualShock 4 again, right? I mean, they could have.
They could have done a DualShock 5, right, with a beefier handle grip, and called it a day.
Exactly. But then they decided to go ahead and reinvent themselves, and
crap, it's a whole new control. I mean, this thing's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And that's what's exciting about it. I like the fact that it's not the same old thing. You know what I mean? It's not the same old thing.
I never thought Sony be competing with Xbox in the controller race, crap.
Yeah. I agree, but here we are. You know what I mean? And now you're not the only one to say it. Everybody's like, this thing is the game changer that we thought it is. And I know, again, like, people don't want to hear that or whatever, but it actually is one of those things that people kind of have to understand, is that Sony didn't stand pat.
Crap, what do you think about this? We talked about mindshare a moment ago and how things are going to progress over the next 12 months. And I had a lot of people on my feed yesterday on Twitter saying, Mooch, this looks like it is a much improved controller. And the things that they have as far as the haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers, right? Those are awesome. But the thing is, though, they're like, is third party going to do that? And I'm like, I don't know.
Well, a lot of them are praising it. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I guess it's not that difficult to implement a lot of these features and stuff. And there also an argument that I see was, well, Xbox had the same type of thing. Xbox didn't have this level of type of thing. You know what I mean? Like Xbox, just like I guess the Switch has digital feedback or whatever, but not to this is like next gen feedback. It's like it's different. So a lot of people are going to have to.
But are third party games going to take advantage, or are we going to be is this going to be held captive to only first party?
Well, I think that honestly, it's just one of those things where I think that a lot will use it, and I can imagine that a lot will. A lot of people just hope that they don't use it because obviously they don't have it. You know what I mean? So, just my opinion anyway. Hello,
Coach? Crap! You went down. I don't know what happened.
I went down.
You went down, but it's all right. You're back.
Down. Yeah, I'm back. Check out my melody. Yeah, listen. Check out my melody. Yeah, like I think that a lot of third parties will use it. I don't think it takes that much effort to implement some of the stuff that we're seeing with it. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they can what can be made, and the immersion level. I've been talking about immersion for the last year. No load times, next to no load times, more immersive feedback in the controllers. Yes. These are things that I personally was looking into. You know what I mean? That's what I want. Those are the things that matter to me.
It's not just me and you saying this. You've got, and I gave props where they're due. Skill Up did an amazing preview of it, as well as Marquise did on YouTube. These are guys that have huge YouTube channels, and they're saying that the controller is a game changer. Now, hold on. I would say shout out to Sir X-Man. Sir X-Man crap says, developers. And shout out to Sir X-Man again. He says, I use Game Pass more with xCloud and than I do on my Xbox. That's the truth. I love xCloud. Sorry, Stadia. Leave Stadia alone. The thing about it is this. I get where you're coming from, Sir X-Man. And Sir X-Man's been very vocal, crap, about how he uses xCloud and how he uses Game Pass. And I think that's great for Sir X-Man. But really, I don't see that from a lot of other people. And I think we have a wide range of Xbox and Sony fans on Twitter that talk to us. And I'm not seeing that. I see people say value, right? It's great value. It's great. Yeah. I get it. It's great. I know it's great. Like, I understand the value of a dollar. I get it. But at the end of the day, I don't know how many people are actually utilizing it when it's not on sale, or it doesn't have a 3-month deal, or when there's not a first-party game out. Microsoft's going to do that. The minute Halo Infinite comes out, oh my God, 20 million people on Game Pass. It's tough. We would never fathom these numbers. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. And then all of a sudden, right, they won't mention it again after that, because after 3 months goes by and that term period expires for the trial, and it drops from 20 back down to like 15 or 14. That's the things you don't see. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I get all of that, but at the same time, that's my issue here. But getting back to the controller, I really do think when you saw like Skill Up and like,
did you like the grips and stuff? Like I hear the grips are really good and the
are fantastic, and it's because it's not built in like do you remember the Elite, the first Elite controller? It had almost like a matting, like you could peel it back. This is all embodied into the grips, so it's not going to peel off. It doesn't come off. It's part of the handle. It's built in, so it is a nice grip on it. The sticks feel much more I would say tighter. They're tighter, like kind of like just there's a resistance now on the sticks, crap, where that wasn't there before. The triggers, okay, and I haven't gotten a chance to play anything with haptic feedback, but the triggers feel very similar to the DualShock 4. Again, just goofing around with the controller, not actually playing a PS5 game yet. So I'll say that much. The triggers feel, so if you like the triggers, I will say this much. The bumper buttons, okay, I believe it's R1 and L1, are bigger and they're a little beefier, which is nice. They made this controller for a wide range of different types of ergonomics and hand sizes. That's the way to kind of do it, where I felt for some reason, I felt the DualShock 4 was still, I think somebody put this on Twitter. I guess I'll use this term. It still felt like a toy, right? It still kind of cracked and creaked a little. You feel like if you really like got your hands on it, you could break it in half. That's not happening with the DualSense. It's a lot like the Elite. It's funny, too, because it goes right up against the Elite controller in quality of build.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of things that I took away from very early just goofing around for a day with it. And I want to say shout out to Ice Cream Gaming. She says, hi, Mooch and Crap. Sorry I can't stop to watch the stream. Thank you both for your support through my depression. Love you both. Ice Cream Gaming, we're always here for you. If you ever need to talk to us,
hey, I've been very vocal, Mooch. I like, anybody that suffers with that kind of stuff, I suffer from that. Not only that, but it's like just a situation that everybody's in right now.
It's hard right now.
It is because, like for me personally, I try to do it one day at a time. And I even asked you about it. I was like, "Hey, man, when do you see us getting back to normal?" Like, and you're like, "Well, I got to tell you, man, probably not 2022." And I'm like, "Damn,
it's gonna be a while, because everyone's interpretation of normal is different, right, Crap?"
Yeah.
So
I mean, just like I want to go to a concert or go, you know what I'm saying? Go to a sporting event or something, and it's just like. You're probably right, man. We're probably a couple years away or a year and a half away.
We're a ways out from the normal that you guys remember in 2019. That's just the way it is. But we're all dealing with this. You know what, though? Let me tell you this much. Shout out to Ice Cream Gaming again. And let me tell you, the way we all get through it is by sticking together. You know what I mean? And that's communication. Try to look at the good times. And if there are bad times, talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Talk about
it. It doesn't help to like keep stuff bottled up and stuff like that. I know everybody's like, it's not weak. Like everybody suffers through depression and all this kind of stuff, whether you think it's the blues or whatever. Not everybody needs medication. I take medication for it, but not everybody does. But it can be, you get caught in a rut or whatever. And this is a situation like that. Like if you start thinking too far ahead, like, oh man, we're not going to be able to do stuff for another year and a half. Like if you look at it that way, it's bad. But there's things that you can look at that are good that's going on in the interim that are great. You know what I mean? Like we could have no football, but we have football. We could be getting no new consoles because of it, but we are. There's a lot of things to be positive about still and to look forward to. And I think that's what people should kind of take away from this whole situation.
Right. And you can also play Left 4 Dead 2 in 240 frames, crap.
Exactly. Thank goodness.
Shout out to Def Jam Bam. Def Jam Bam is awake. He is well. Great to have Def Jam Bam here.
He's blasting that soundbar, I'm sure.
I can hear it now. I love how, guys, just a little M&C history here. Shout out to Def Jam Bam. Def Jam Bam and I and Crap used to play some games back in the day, some Gears, play some Division. And what's really funny is Def Jam would have his headset on. And meanwhile, while we're playing, I feel like I'm actually in a war zone. I can hear like gunfire going off. And I go, what is that? I go, Bam, you still have your sound bar on your TV? And he's like, no, man, I'm using a headset. And I'm like, it sounds like your TV's blasting the audio of the game we're playing. He's like, nah, man, it can't be. Meanwhile, it's like in my ear, and I'm like, what is that? What is going on? Finally, he takes it off. He goes, sorry, guys. Soundbar kicked on again.
Yeah.
And that's where the Def Jam Bam soundbar came from. So it's great to have Def Jam Bam here. Awesome to have him. Outstanding gamer. Great personality. Follow him on Twitter, man. Def Jam, MNC ain't the same without you. But yeah, I definitely think that that's something that we got to kind of take a look at is when you get home on November 10th and November 12th, what are you excited? And I ask this all the time. I don't ask it to be funny. I don't ask it to be kind of sarcastic. I'm actually asking you guys, like, where's the excitement? Not just for November 10th, but where's the excitement for the next even 6 months on the Series X? Because you've had influencers and such being like, oh my God, it's amazing. Oh my God, it's great. And then I'm like, but what are you playing? And they're like, Monster Hunter. I'm like, Monster Hunter?
Yeah.
What? Like, when you guys left the 360 era, were you excited to play Mass Effect 2 on your Xbox One or PS4?
Yeah,
No!
I think that's the real thing. Like, I understand that maybe like that's a bonus it's been a bonus for like PC gamers and stuff, and that's fine. But just in my opinion, I've been gaming on consoles since like 1986, something like that, and there's never been a time where I had to get a new console and was excited to play old games on it. First of all, like most of the time, the old games didn't work on it, and the next thing was you were more excited to play the games that actually weren't capable on the old consoles, right? Like you didn't want to play stuff if it was capable to play. That's the whole point of getting a new console, so that you could play stuff that wasn't, available prior. So, and it wasn't capable of it. It's like, when you played Rise or whatever, like that game wasn't capable on the Xbox 360. Same thing with the other games that they came out with, and that's what I liked about it. It was really cool to kind of do that. It was about more than just, hey, let's play some old game. And I get it. If you're excited about that, that's fine. For me personally, I'd have to really be in a lull to want to go back and play some of the older games, and I've got a ton of older games that I could play, right? But and I even mentioned this on Twitter. I was like, I got a ton of stuff I can play right now, but I really just want to experience that next generation. We're so close to it,
right?
I couldn't imagine.
You said no, and I agreed with you. But the more you said it just about 20 minutes ago, it's been sitting in my head. I got to kind of throw this out there. I probably will go back and start Gears 5 again on the Series X, mainly because why the hell not, right? I mean, if you got a better game to throw at me, let me know. Yeah. But I probably will try that game out again, since it is going to be 120 frames and either 4K or damn near close.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, we got to pick something.
Yeah, that's totally my point as well. You know what I mean? If we're gonna be, if I'm gonna play something, I'd like to at least try out the Series X and have something new where I could say, oh well, at least I got to use that feature, see what ray tracing does on the Series X or 120 frames, something. That sort of really kind of showcases some reason why you got it,
Failed Pyromancer, look what he writes there. This is exactly what you just said and what I've been saying. Failed Pyromancer says, I remember the feeling I had when I first played Super Mario World. I couldn't believe how amazing it looked. Failed Pyromancer, listen, that's the traditionalism I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That I remember that day like it was yesterday. Shout out to Xbox Freak. He says, Doom Eternal, Mooch. You know what? Xbox Freak, 110% right. I may very well jump into that game because I own it and I haven't really played it yet. That may be a game because at least it'll be new to me and I can appreciate that.
But again, still, that game's almost a year old,
It is. No, it's definitely still an older game. But in defense of what Xbox Freak's saying is that, I might be able to, if you can get Doom up to close to 120, I don't know if they've come out and said this. Please tell me if you guys know. But if you can get Doom Eternal crap up to near 120 frames, that would be a spectacle. That'd be a lot of fun to play. So that may be a game that I kind of dive in. Sir X-Man says, I don't worry about new games too much because I still got a large backlog of games that I have to get through.
But you don't need a new console then. I mean,
but you don't need a new console. That's exactly it. Well, sir, I don't know. I think Sir X-Man said that he may not be getting a Series X right away. So he may, that may be his point. But the thing is this. We were talking about this too. People say, well, Mooch and Crap, if you guys keep saying that, why are you buying a Series X? Well, the first thing was what Crap just said. Being on YouTube and having discussions, you got to kind of have the product to be able to discuss
We do 2-3 podcasts a week. I can imagine.
You can't not talk, right?
Yeah, I can imagine the launch week and the launch weeks and the forthcoming the rest of this year. People are probably going to want us ask us on and talk about the consoles and so not just ours but others. And if you only have one, how are you going to be able to talk about what's going on? So.
There's also the value you're getting, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to wait and you're like, I'm not going to get a PlayStation 5 right now, or I'm not going to get an Xbox Series X, that's fine. I'm not going to tell you to. But
Yeah.
GameStop is giving $200, and I think you can even sell. And shout out to Sir X Man. I saw your DM to me, Sir X Man. We'll talk offline about that. But you could sell your Xbox One X, or you could sell your PS4 right now, especially if it's a PS4 Pro Spider-Man edition or a Star Wars edition one. You can get some decent money for those from collectors. You go ahead and sell those. That money that you're going to get right now for those consoles, you're going to get the Series X for $300. GameStop's giving $200 for your Xbox One X. Like, that's crazy, right? So you're going to come out with a Series X for $300? That's a no-brainer. If you wait and that deal goes away, you know how long it's going to be for off-the-shelf MSRP pricing on a Series X to get to $300? Years.
Exactly. Yeah.
Years. So
exactly.
It doesn't make sense to wait if you have an Xbox One X or a PS4 Pro.
I think it's smart. Or if you think about it, you get that $200 towards a PS4 or PS5. I mean,
right?
You can get the digital one for $200 at that point.
How do you beat that crap?
It's hard. It's hard.
Dude.
Yeah,
it's insane. And I'm sure we'll get back into the whole DualShock conversation crap. But he says, Capone says, Mooch, the $200 from GameStop is store credit only. Yeah, Capone, it's $200. That's where I'm getting my PS5 and my Series X. So I'm going to use my $200 credit on my next console.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I appreciate Capone putting that out there.
One and one equals 2, Mooch.
You know what I mean? That's right. I'm just trying. It's right. We could sing up to 12. But nonetheless, listen, I got Halo Infinite loses its project director crap. I mean, we've been saying that needed to happen over there for a while. Is this something that when I saw it, I was kind of excited, and I mean that in a good way. It's great for the franchise. I think the franchise, they have Staten back, right? They have Joe Staten back, and he's been a Halo guru, So I think that's myself personally. I think this is a good move. What's your take?
You know what? I think that I think it's a good move, but you have to wonder because there's some people that are going, oh well, this game will come out early next year. I honestly don't think you make these moves if that's the case. Like if it's almost done, why on earth would you make all these changes right now, right? Like I don't understand why that would happen. So I think that it's definitely a situation where we kind of see that it is a good move. You get Joseph Staten back in there, sort of dealing with Halo, but I don't think that it's going to mean that the game's going to come out anytime sooner. I think that you have this game come out when it's ready. You need a beginning, a middle, and an end for the campaign, and you got to have a fully ready multiplayer with every aspect of it ready to go. You need the Forge, you need multiplayer maps, you need everything ready to go. That's that's one of the things that they have to get right. This isn't a game that you play around with. This is your tentpole franchise. This was the big comeback. Remember? Yes. I have to admit, there was a lot of hype around this game before it got showed. Remember? Everybody was talking about it. Talking about it. And
I thought it was really going to be the resurgence, the return of Halo.
It's on PC. It's on Steam. It'll have crossplay. It'll be here. It'll be there. It'll be everywhere. It's going to be huge. And I'm like, you know what? You might be right. It could be huge. It's going to be on Xbox One. It's going to be on the next gen stuff. It had the potential as a launch game to be absolutely huge. Now I think people are in a sort of wait and see type of mode with it. Like the multiplayer is going to be free to play. The single player has to be, I think it has to be killer, man. The single player really needs to be there. What are they going to charge? What are they going to charge for the game? Like for people that don't want to do Game Pass, you understand what I'm saying? Like if the multiplayer is free, are they still charging $60-$70 for the campaign?
You can't separate them, crap. I think that's disastrous. I don't like that move, but I'll tell you this much. If they're going to have to wait for both entities, the single player and multiplayer, to be ready, and that bumps the game into 2022, I could see Phil making that decision. And I don't necessarily know, even though I think it's disastrous, I can't necessarily say I would blame him. He's got to get something out. He's got to get a game out. And, listen, a lot of people say, well, the Medium's coming out. The Medium, is It's going to be fun. I think it'll have a nice creepy factor to it.
It'll be fun 3 to 4 hours, I guess.
It's a walking slash like what was that game that came out when the Xbox One? It was the launch window. Remember, it was a detective movie, detective game. something crime detective or something detective. Anyways, well, that studio ended up going out of business because the game didn't do very well.
Yeah.
But it was very similar to where you would walk around and hunt clues, and then you'd go and search for who may have done it in what location and put the clues together to solve the mystery. This is not that exact same thing at all, but it's an idea of something similar to that, where there's clues and looking around, and then there's the split between the dimension that you can kind of go into versus
I think Murdered Soul Suspect.
Murdered Soul Suspects. Thank you.
Yeah. That was gonna bug me because I played that on and beat it.
You said you kind of liked it.
I liked it. I played it on 360 and I beat it, and I played it on Xbox One and beat it.
Yes.
So
yeah.
So I mean, I liked it. Yeah.
But that's a similar situation here. So the medium's not really that like big of a title to say, oh well, that's the reason I'm getting it. It's not, and I don't think it's going to push the power of the Series X. Anyways, so when it comes down to it, a lot of people are saying, well, third party. My only issue with third party argument is, listen, I've said this since the day I took to YouTube. Third party is everywhere. It's everywhere. You know what I mean? It literally, for no joke, it's on PlayStation. It's on PC. It's on Xbox. It's everywhere. So when you're like, wow, oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't believe that I'm playing this on the Series X and it has fill in the blank. Like if a game has ray tracing on Xbox Series X, it's going to have ray tracing on PS5. And it's going to have it, depending on the card you have, it'll be playable on your, I believe, like a 260 and up, a 260, a 270, a 280, 280 Ti.
Yeah, I mean, they're very similar. They're very similar. It's like...
So you really can't brag about third party, right, Crap?
And not only that, but you got to look at this. The average person that's looking to get a console, they aren't going, oh man, well this one might have slightly better shaders. They're going, well, PlayStation has exclusives that aren't on Xbox and multiplats. That, you know what I mean? So you can play both with just a PlayStation 5. The Xbox doesn't have any exclusives right now. So, it's a situation where it's the waiting game, and that's on Microsoft. I've been very adamant about that. I'm not sure how they could be in the situation they're in. You put all your eggs in a Halo basket. That was a really stupid move. I don't see how they could have done that. Like, at the very least, not everybody's a Halo fan, so you got to have, why didn't you push to have a racing game ready? Okay. Right. Why didn't you push to have something else ready, something third party maybe, just so that you could have something for somebody to showcase your console? Instead, it's like you got people capping for the medium, which is a timed AA little indie game, right? Like, again, it's not a reason to buy an Xbox Series X. It's a 30 frames per second game. There's not really much more I can say about it. It's like, that's not really showcasing Xbox either. The first party is what really is supposed to showcase these consoles. Let's just be real. And Digital Foundry has already said Demon's Souls and Miles Morales are the best looking next gen games that they've seen.
That's right.
What can I say? Both are first party. Really, you need to have your first party in order. In a few years, Xbox is going to be a great place to play. I'm telling you, Mooch. Mark my words.
Yeah, in a few years, it really will be. But I mean, at the same time, that's the thing I'm shocked at. And I said this on Crossfire, and nobody really gave it a whole lot of thought. Maybe we can talk about it now. Is bravo, by the way, bravo to the team at Xbox for getting that propaganda out to make it okay, right? To make it okay and be like, we are excited to play older games at higher frame rates. Like, that is, think about what it is though. What it really is, it's a PC sales pitch.
Yeah.
It's a PC sales pitch because of people like, right? So like a lot of people say, well, I can't wait to get my new 3090 card. Well, a lot of times with the 3090 card, people are going to go back and play older games and they're going to look a lot better, right, Crap? Yep. Especially if you're going from like a 1080 Ti to a 3090. I mean, now you got ray tracing on. Now you've got all kinds of things. You can put everything on ultra textures, ultra settings. My point being is that's the sales pitch that Xbox is going with. And I got to say, bravo to them. Outstanding job on that sale. They got that entire group out there fighting very, very hard. To all the influencers out there, they're all pushing that very, very hard. And that's working with a lot of people. And myself personally, I'll be honest with you. For me, it's not that it's not working on me. It's working on me. But for me, it's intriguing. And I think a really cool feature to have. Yeah. But where it's lacking is if they had Halo out, or they had a game, or they even locked down like PlayStation did, locked down like a Godfall that would show off some of the new things that the Xbox Series X can do. That's what I'm missing. I'm just missing that one part of the Triforce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've got the other 2/3, but I'm missing that piece, that new game that shows off my hardware when I get home on November 10th. Because like I said, when I get home on November 10th, I'm going to play Watch Dogs Legions, and I'm going to play probably Gears 5. Or shout out to Xbox Freak again in the chat. I'll probably, or Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what else to do. Whereas people have been writing me nonstop, and they're like, so Mooch, what are you going to stream or play on the PS5? And I'm torn. I'm probably going to go with Demon Souls. I'm probably going to start with Demon Souls. But I'll get it, because I just think Demon Souls is more of a streaming type of game. So I'll be streaming that on Twitch immediately. Like on November 12th, I will be on there for hours, taking the day off to literally stream and make some videos. So I'm doing that. But no joke, I probably when I'm off stream, I'll probably be playing Miles Morales. I'm really torn there because I want to play Miles as well, but at the same time, I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to neglect the audience that would probably rather watch Demon Souls on a stream.
Yeah, I can understand that. You know, Demon Souls is something a lot of people probably want to see you stream. Personally, I'm going to be booting up Miles Morales first.
I'm playing you crap. Yeah, that's not your bag. I get that. Sir X-Man says, "Why is crap yelling? Who's yelling at crap?"
I'm yelling.
I didn't think you were yelling at all.
Huh.
Maybe I was doing an impression of you and I was yelling. I'm not sure what Sir X-Man says. Sir X-Man says, first time Xbox launched without a racing game. That's also very true. Guys, don't argue with Sir X-Man. He knows Xbox history.
Mr. Huckabeast, I never said that I raised my gamer score 5,000 in a week. I had it raised so I think I beat a couple easy games. Mafia 2 Remastered or something. Oh, I beat Battletoads or something so that I could talk about how bad it was. And they threw gamer score at me, and I think I had close to 2,000, not 5,000. The last couple years, I've got very little gamer score. I was at 155,000, and over the last year and a half or so, I think I'm finally at 160,000. But I used to be averaging 25,000 gamer score a year. And now it's down to 2 to 3. So yeah, it's very very different situation. I've been kind of focusing and playing through some stuff again, like Battlefront 2 and some of the multiplats on PS4 Pro, just to kind of get some trophies up. And I knew that those were when it comes to games like that, a campaign is super easy. It takes between 4 and 5 hours to beat, and you get some trophies. That to me is you kind of know where to go with it. But starting something completely new right now, probably not something that I would do. I would never play Demon Souls. Good Lord. Ooh.
Crap, I tell you, boy, I'd love to watch that streamed.
Yeah. I mean,
front row.
Yeah, I mean, people would be front row, but I wouldn't get very far. I can tell you that.
Shout out to True Virgil. He says, it's crazy that they don't have a Forza for us. Sir X-Man says, even OG Xbox launch with PGR1 facts. Absolutely. And then here's one from Onslaught. And Onslaught, I'm not sure. Let me read it first. He says, Series X has RDNA2 with only 8 cores less than a 6800, a 16% difference. The 6800 is 10 to 20% better than the 2080 Ti, depending on the game. PS5 is equivalent to a 2060 Super. Onslaught, I think your numbers are way off. I don't think you're right at all. Many people have said that it is not. I've seen comparisons in the past, which are also not exactly a 1-to-1, saying that the Xbox Series X is comparable to a 2080, not a 2080 Ti. And then I've also seen PS5 being equivalent to a 2070 Super. So you've given Xbox a tier higher than I think most are saying, and you went a tier lower than most are saying. So I think it depends on the audience you're listening to, but I really don't think that is the case. MexJ88 says, funny thing is, Sony has the better collection of games that you would want to play with new options, like God of War with 60 frames or Legends. So, Mex, listen, that happens to hit home for someone like me, but I can see where other people, that's not fair to say in the sense that, if somebody's looking forward to playing Left 4 Dead 2 at 120 frames, maybe that's just their jam. I'll give you an example. Ghost of Tsushima, I will be playing at 60 frames on the PlayStation 5. I don't think as great as it's going to be, I don't see myself going back to God of War at 60 frames. That's just an example, right? So there's a 1-to-1 ratio where I'm giving you examples on the Xbox where I'm willing to go back and play some older games at a higher frame rate, and some I'm not. And then in the case of Sony's world, where there's older games that'll be playing at a higher frame rate where I'm excited or I'm not. So I think that's personal preference. I waited because there were so many games and I was platinuming on The Last of Us 2 and I was playing something else at the time. And I only was dabbling with Ghost of Tsushima. Then I saw, what was it, 4 weeks ago, that Ghost of Tsushima was going to get a 60 frame enhancement. I said, you know what, I'll wait. I won't be playing it day one, but I will be playing Ghost of Tsushima on the PS5 after I get done with Demon Souls and Miles Morales. So that'll be the game and I can enjoy it at 60 frames. That should be outstanding and still get a great resolution too. Not have to like compensate and get a 1080p 60 frames. That's just something that doesn't really motivate me. D-Day Raisin says, personally, like Cyberpunk delay, we are going to have so much to play when PS5 comes out. Going to need time for Spider-Man, Ratchet, and Clank. So
Cyberpunk,
D-Day, great point in bringing up Cyberpunk. I've also had that as a topic. Crap, it's been delayed again. And listen, no harm, no foul on that delay. I don't really care. I think this game is probably, when somebody just took, you bit off more than you can chew. I feel like that may be the case here where, CD Projekt Red really ain't good for them, man. They shot for the stars. Let's see if they reach it. But when you've gone gold, and then you're saying you're going to delay your game still. I mean, I don't know if have you ever seen that? And I'm not saying like it's never happened, but I haven't seen that.
It's what a lot of people were worried about. You have that situation with the current gen stuff holding it back. And when I say current gen, I'm not really talking about the One X or the PS4 Pro. I'm more probably talking about the launch Xbox One. I can imagine that is a pain in the ass to get games launching on that in 2020. Okay? That, to me, is probably an almost impossible feat. That thing was just, I don't know what the hell Microsoft were thinking with that, Mooch, but that technology, like, you got to think about it. The parts in the Xbox One were actually from 2010.
Yes.
Very weak parts. So, realistically, they're trying to get this thing running on something that's 10 years old already. So that's, they're probably having a lot of problems with it. And I can understand. That's why I want both these companies to ditch the current gen as quickly as possible. I can imagine that the game would have been so much better had it been next gen only. I can imagine that. But, the game's taken so long to actually get out there. Right. They probably, probably hoping to have that.
It was a huge blow to Xbox, crap.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That was going to be a big, launch title game, right?
Everything bad that could happen to Xbox in terms of games. Yeah. That's,
you had the Halo thing. The thing happened with Halo. Then you had the delay here. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not a major delay by no stretch of the imagination. I'm not going to make it worse than it is. It's not a major delay. But again, when you come home with it, look how long it's been when we were like, oh my God, just a month till new consoles come out. Now, November 10th, now you have to wait a whole nother month again till you can play this game that's supposed to really show some of the powers of the Series X. MexJ88 says, about the GPU comparisons, you can't find a comparison to a GPU for the PS5 since the PS5 works in its own way. Listen, I think that goes for both of them. There's a lot of custom work underneath these hoods of these new consoles. So when people are actually literally just saying, this is what it is, and this is what it is, that's not true. And that's what, again, to shout out Moore's Law, is that's what he said when he was talking about the RDNA2. It's not that one of them is 1.5 and the other one's not 2.5. He's like, they're custom. They're both custom. He said neither of them have all of the desktop functions that come with AMD's RDNA2. So it's a situation where you got to take everything with a creative step back and look at how they design things internally different for each particular console. Sir X-Man says, Mooch, Sony will make a remaster of God of War. I don't think so, Sir X-Man. I don't think we're going into that world because back compat on both consoles is relevant, present, and ready to go. The reason we had all those remasters this generation was there was no back compat at the 2013, 2014 launch of these consoles. Okay, that's just the way, so that's the situation there. I did want to give one other shout out real quick here. I'm looking for him. There he is. Shout out to Anthony Vasquez. He says, what's up, Mooch? Shout out to Anthony. Anthony, thank you so much. Where he is, he says he can't always contribute with super chats because they don't allow it. YouTube doesn't allow it where he is. So he sends it in the stream. There's a donation link below in the description that he sends to. And I really thank you so much, Anthony, for that donation. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to the great James Vincent. James Vincent, he says, I am a firm believer that exclusives sell consoles. Many of my friends who only play Call of Duty bought a PS4 solely to get God of War 2 years ago. That's the power of exclusives, James Vincent.
Yeah.
He knows that. We know that. And a lot of people are coming around to that. Vegger in the chat here, or Vegger, pardon me, says PS2 moved from x86 to sell with PS3 and had a sparse lineup because game engines were far away ready at launch. Then moved from PS3 to PS4, same issue happened. What's the excuse? Not have Xbox Series X launch lineup. So is he saying basically?
He's saying, I think he's trying to say that. Hold on.
Because the English there's a translation here. Because
he's saying that since they're using x86, they should have had games ready for the launch. Like since it's the same architecture.
Well,
and
I completely agree with that on more reasons than one. Crap, we've been saying this for such a long time, right? Xbox basically started ramping up for this generation, Gen 9, in like 2015.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not have anything ready to go? Like nothing?
Yeah. Hey, I question it too, but then again, who am I, Mooch?
We're just gonna roll with Halo? Like, even though Halo is a huge game, and I love Halo, am I Halo no? But I like Halo. But even with Halo, don't you want to have something else?
Yeah,
Nathaniel Gray says Demon Souls is just a remake, Mooch. I got news for you, Nathaniel. Go back and watch that game. Go back and watch it in 4K, what they're showing, buddy. On YouTube, there's no comparison. There's absolutely no comparison. And they have made changes to the game, actually. They're going to be changing the trophy. The trophy list will change. There are differences to the game. So it's not a one-for-one.
Hey, you know who we haven't asked what they're doing yet is Nova. Nova, what are you playing on day one, man?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Nova?
Nova!
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I had to mute myself.
Oh, okay.
Day one. Right. Oh, yeah, I'm with Mooch here. We're playing Demon Souls all day. And Mooch,
yes.
Depending on how the multiplayer works, let's hop in there, fight some bosses together.
Absolutely. That's one thing that we may even be able to get the great Crap Gamer involved. There's rumored, I heard it's 5 or 6 people could play multiplayer of Demon Souls. So we may be able to just kind of run you through it.
Yeah, sign me up for that.
Right? Come on, Crap.
To be honest, Crap, that's kind of how I got into the Soul series. Like I tried at it. I failed really hard. And then some, old clan members, they were like, come on, we'll run you through a couple bosses until you get it. And then once I got the formula, that was it. I played every.
But what's funny though, Nova, is it's funny to hear Crap say that. I do have to defend Crap in one way. So we're like, hey, Crap, just join us and just stay in the back. It was like when I got Division, the first Division game.
But to me, I was gonna bring that up too. Like I had a friend who had already beat it and was like a super high level.
Yeah.
And basically, so the last parts of the Division, I spent being on the ground dead. Yeah. Looking up while he was in there kicking everybody's ass and then revived me.
Everybody was level 30 but me. I didn't get into it till a little bit late, right? Everybody's already level 30. I'm level 10. All of the enemies are rated way higher because instead of going with the lowest common denominator as far as enemy scalability, they went with the higher end of it, Crap. And the problem with that was, Mooch, just hide behind that cop car. Just get behind the car. We'll take care of it. I'm like, this isn't playing. I'm not playing a game. I'm not doing anything. I'm literally sitting there eating a sandwich, ranking up. They're like, we'll get you there. Just hold tight. I'm like, I don't want to do this. What is this? Are we playing a game? Nobody said, hey, Mooch, what are you doing tonight? You want to wait? What? Do I want to what? You want to play? No, I said, do you want to wait behind a car while we level you up? No. So that was the problem with the Division for me. Maybe it's because I got into it too late. Everybody got onto the Division. I think the cap of 30 was too small of a cap because everybody got to it so quickly. It was so quick that everybody got there. So anybody that didn't play in the first 3 days was level 10, playing at a normal rate, didn't play it for 24 hours straight. And then there was a waiting game.
I kind of liked the Division, like the Dark Zone or whatever it is.
Yes.
Right. It was kind of cool, but then everybody was afraid to try to mess with each other when I was playing it at first. Right. Yep. Like everybody would just like, oh, okay, hey, shake hands, or you know what I mean? Whatever the emojis were that they were doing. It was just like, everybody was afraid. I remember playing with my buddy Grave, and he would start taking like shots at people and stuff like that. But for the most part, everybody was just afraid to lose the stuff that they got. So I never even played Division 2. I got it. I never played it.
I like the environment. I like how they built everything around. But again, it was the same thing. It was the same thing. And the hype factor lasted even less than the first one. Shout out to Sir X-Man. He says, I want Quantum Break 2, Rise 2. Give us what we want. Xbox, stop playing with us. Sir X-Man, I got news for you. You got a better chance of hitting a scratch-off ticket tomorrow. DD Ray, Raisin again comes back. He says, I feel you, Nova. My friends had to help me with Bloodborne.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting,
That's how you get into it.
Nova, you know, I'll tell you about this, and Crap knows this, too. Shout out to Buck Rogers. He goes, Mooch, boot that guy who's always yelling. I'll get him off immediately. It's nice to be on my channel. I love doing shows with Crap on his channel, but every once in a while he gets somebody new over there. Like, Crap, who's this guy yelling? Get him off the show.
Yeah, they're used to, sometimes I do like a solo cast or something. It's just me. You know, next thing I know, I got this guy yelling and he's all amped up and everything. So it's crazy.
Yeah, you know, shout out to SW Guard. He goes, Mooch, I'm pretty sure you're yelling. That might be your thing. You do all the time. You do seem loud a lot. He goes, you have to turn down my volume. Just saying, no hate. Listen, guys, it's not really just a thing. It's how I get really amped up about some of these great. You'll see some categories we talk about. I'm kind of like, well, Crap. You know, statistically and numerically, a lot of users say that this is frequently what's used or not used. Like, that's fine, right? But when it's
we've got deltas and alphas, and we've got, you know, reverse engineering on this. And what we see here is we've got, you know, this thing really kind of works correct. Up. And yes, and then you see the power grid, and then we do a reverse engineering this, and we can clearly see that this is actually outer space technology.
Rewind
Microsoft. That. Yes, it's amazing. What do you see this right here? Yes, it goes from 4 to 3, and then back from 3 to 6. It's amazing what they were able to really accomplish with it. It's exactly
right.
What
yeah, right.
No,
so
I
can't do. And, you know, shout out to Jez 7780s in the chat. He's the Grind My Gears guy. He's great. Jez is from New York. Listen, we're New Yorkers. I got news for you. The minute you come to New York, if you guys have never been to New York, get ready for intense yelling, even if you're talking about toppings on a pizza. Okay? I go out with my buddies right when everyone comes back for the holidays because everybody's moved all over the world. The world's so small now. Everybody comes back. We have a couple of drinks and a pizza back when we used to be able to go out. And like we sit there and somebody's like, oh, you know, I want these wings or I want this kind of pizza topping. I'm like, get out of here. Nobody wants that. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just, and we're sitting there, and the waitress is kind of laughing because we're all having this unbelievable discussion on pizza toppings. So, I mean, guys, when it's a passionate debate, you get a little loud in New York. It's
just the way it is. By the way, pineapple. I just saw the debate.
Crap, keep the fruit off the pizza.
Oh, man, I love me some pineapple on pizza, dude.
Listen, Crap, you want to have pineapple? Put it in a drink, okay? Put it somewhere next to a strawberry on a piece of cake. Get it off my pizza.
Yeah.
You know,
I like it, man. I love it. So what can I say, man? Give me some of that pineapple any day, man. I love that stuff.
What do you like, chocolate mousse with your steak? I don't understand what's happening.
I don't eat steak. I don't eat red meat.
So great.
I know people are pretty shocked when they find that out. They're like, Crap doesn't eat red meat or pork. No, he doesn't. I'm not a
SW Guard. I don't know if you get the joke. When I say who's yelling, it's a joke within the community. We all know it's me yelling. He tells people who's yelling while he's yelling. It's me.
Yeah, exactly.
SW Guard, welcome to the show for the first time. Good to have you. It's all right. It's all good. Nonetheless, Crap, what else do we got going on? There's a lot of stuff to talk about.
There is, you know, it's like there's a lot of stuff going around. Like, are you surprised by the amount of this was something that really plagued Xbox at the beginning of last gen or this current generation? Like, people go, PlayStation doesn't come with an HDMI 2.1 cable in it, Mooch. Like, can you believe it? It does. All the unboxes confirm that it does. Or I don't see, like, people say I come up with weird titles. Like, how do people get, like, Jim Ryan did this interview, and he said that they got to support the PlayStation 4. Nowhere does he mention put out exclusives on the PlayStation 4. But everybody's like, let's run with this article. Jim Ryan says they're going to put exclusives on PS4 past 2022, right?
Right.
Like that, like, and I'm like, did you read that? At no point does he say that. Like, support for PS4 in the 2022 means they're still going to do PlayStation Plus, and, you know, they're still going to have third-party games. They're still going to support the servers. They're still going to support it with that support. They're still going to make the console. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
And they've always done that, but people just running with these wild narratives that they're going to put all the exclusives and stuff on it. Absolutely not needed. Like, it's so bad.
It really, shout out to Sir X-Man. He says, it's called reverse osmosis. Shout out to Sir X-Man. And the great Dark Animus is here in the chat. a.k.a. Dark Goldblum. Goldblum, we miss you on Crossfire. He says, what's up, Mooch and Crap? It's ridiculous that people still think the Xbox is going to be fields ahead of the PS5. Demon Souls looks amazing. Listen, this is the thing when it comes down to it. Like, it's about the games, right? And I had a lot of people tell me that early in this generation. They're like, it's not about this console or that console. I was actually very excited for Halo Infinite on the Series X. I couldn't wait to come home and play that game. The fact that I got delayed, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. They're going to make the game better. They're changing management. They're changing some leadership. I also think that is better. So great. Then I would turn to Xbox as a consumer and I say, okay, guys, listen, take your time with Halo. So what else you got for me? And they're like, nothing. Like, what? Did you say nothing? No, nothing.
Nothing.
No, nothing. You know, it's literally, I don't know if you guys are Seinfeld fans, but it's like when Jerry and Costanza approached NBC with their thought process for their new sitcom. And the guy, the head of NBC, he's like, so tell me, what's the show about? And they're like, nothing. He's like, no, I'm sorry. I asked you, what is the show about? Nothing. So it's like, you got nothing. And it's like, I don't understand that. I don't get it. So it's like, I understand if you're Microsoft, do what Microsoft did in 2013 when they were kind of getting hit hard with the media as far as they went out and they locked down Titanfall crap. And then a year later, they locked down what? Rise of the Tomb Raider for a year. Those were genius moves. I thought that was a great move. Saved face for a bit too. Why not lock down an exclusive deal? You know, something that's coming out. Yeah,
get something. I mean, look, Sony, they had stuff coming. And you know what? They still went out and got stuff like Ghostwire Tokyo and the hell's the other one? They got that other, but Deathloop. I mean, those are.
Well, that's the thing. People don't understand crap. You're talking about not just this launch. When people are like, Mooch, stop with the PlayStation 5's got games, the new games. Okay, we don't want to play DLC. We don't want to play an old game like Demon Souls. Fine. Let's play that game for a second. You've got Godfall. Okay.
Keep in mind though that Demon Souls wasn't a huge hit back in the day on the PlayStation 3, right?
But now Souls, it's a system seller.
Yeah, Souls really picked up since that point, and a lot of people want to go back, be able to play and experience that game. And not me personally, but I'm just saying I hear it and I hear what people are saying. So you know, a lot of you have to remember, like, this isn't like how it was back in the day where people were really like into the Souls games and stuff like that. This was sort of a new thing at that time. So yeah, basically how that kind of works out. That's why I think it is actually quite a system seller.
Well, not just that, but then you have to expand outside of that, right?
Yeah.
So if we're talking about the medium with Xbox in December, listen, you've got Ratchet and Clank coming early 2021. You've got Deathloop that is coming out in June, right? Then you have rumors of I don't think they gave a date, but they did say 2021. You've got Horizon Forbidden West, and you have God of War Ragnarok. Listen, whether some of those get delayed or not, whatever. We can't speak. Nobody can speak to that right now. Those are the games you're telling us that are coming out within from day of launch till the end of 2021. And when I see Xbox's side, they're like, well, we got the Falconeer, we got the Medium, and maybe Halo will be ready by then. That's the thing. That doesn't compete with Deathloop. Ghostwire Tokyo doesn't compete with God of War, Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Ratchet and Clank, Godfall, Demon Souls, Miles Morales. They're giving away. Listen, guys, by the way, I understand. If you guys want to make fun of this game, make fun of it all you want. I'm right there with you. It's not my bag. But they're giving away bug snacks day one. So when you come home, now you got Miles Morales. You've got the Astrobot game, which is free, by the way. Right? That's a 4 to 5 hour game. People are saying you can listen to any influencer. Don't go by Mooch. They said it was actually a lot of fun. It was a great game, and it's free. Okay? You got that. You've got Miles Morales. You got Demon Souls. You're going to have bug snacks on PS Plus. And then in February, you're getting just bug snacks. And then you're also getting Destruction All-Stars for free in February. So,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, listen, guys, when you're buying a new console, you're buying it for games. You know, you're not buying it for the uptick in frames from 2015. That's a great feature that should come with both consoles. So great on Microsoft, great on Sony to provide that for us. But it's not necessarily the say-all end-all.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, that's just my take. I mean, and I could be wrong, guys, but that's where a lot of this passion comes from when you hear me kind of get excitable. It's just that there's just so much going on with Sony's product, and I'm not getting that amp and that excitement. I'm seeing people today on Twitter. I woke up, I made a cup of coffee this morning, crap, and I see so many people are saying, I can't wait 10 days to the Series X. And I want to write them all. And I mean this. It's not a troll at all. I want to be like, what are you playing? Yeah. What am I missing? Shout out to Rated D Demonic. He says, Mooch, crap, how the hell are you boys? We're doing better now that you're here, Rated D Demonic. Shout out to Audible Fart. These guys are great. These are all Mooch Maniac family members. Guys, right above the description.
I love that name, too, Audible Fart.
Isn't it great? It really is great. Wendigo says, Mooch, Bug Snacks, Game of the Year. Well, Wendigo, that's going to be... Oh, that's right. Pantherium reminded me. And there's a Sackboy game.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that. So
I'm not buying. Listen, I'm going to wait for that one to go on sale, crap. But still, I'll probably pick it up at some point when it's half price.
It looks pretty good. I like platformers, so being able to play that, it looks good. By the way, graphically and stuff, I think it looks good. Not only that, but for me personally, it really sort of amplifies that missing thing that I think Xbox has missed a lot this generation, like those platformers and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited by it, and I think that what they're bringing is a good mix of stuff, right? Like they got the platformers, they've got Demon Souls, they've got Spider-Man for the action adventure stuff. This is all stuff that it's a variety. I feel like that's what you need. Like it would have been better, I think, if they would have had like a Gran Turismo there as well. But, they didn't. It's probably going to come early next year. But at least that's something you can, bank on. You know what I'm saying? That game's probably pretty close to being finished. And that game's been in development for a while. Like, the games that have been in development for a while, I feel like those will probably come on time. And I was talking to Nova about this in the pre-chat when you left to go get coffee. I was like, but I think we're only starting to just now see the delays that are going to happen to the games that are early in development. Like, we're only going to – we'll start to see those more affected next year and the year after. You know what I mean? Like what's happening now to games that have been in the development for a long time wouldn't be as disastrous as to somebody trying to start a new AAA right now. Okay. Like if you're just starting a new AAA right now, that's going to be a big problem because how do you do that? You sometimes have thousands of employees. How do you do that from remote locations? I do not understand how, it's going to get bad. So that's why I always say, be really thankful that we're getting anything. And the fact that some of these, that's a testament to how skilled a lot of these developers are. And thank goodness for this type of situation. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, crap. I want to say shout out to MexJ88. He says, Mooch and crap, I got to jump off. Just wanted to wish you a great weekend and can't wait for
my friend.
Yes, PS5 embargo's up on the 6th. We can't wait. You know what's funny? So crap, right up here wasn't a super chat, but Marion Brezua, I'm saying it wrong, but I apologize. Marion says, Mooch should be a salesman. Marion, listen, hear me out. I'm not making a sales pitch. All I'm doing is reading a list of games that are coming on the PS5 in the next 12, 13 months. That's not a sales pitch.
Listen, when I say the reason why I bought an Xbox One was for that year launch lineup, right? For the year one, which was Dead Rising 3, Killer Instinct, Rise, Forza 5, Titanfall, Sunset Overdrive, the Halo Master Chief Collection, Forza Horizon 2. All these games came out that first year. That's why I bought an Xbox One.
That's right. You've been very vocal on that.
Exactly. Yeah. If I'm vocal about that and honest about that, why would anybody expect anything else from the PS5? I'm getting a PS5, and if I could only get one, I would get a PS5 because of that lineup. That first year, within the year, you're getting Astrobot, which comes free, by the way. Yeah. Which I bet that game is going to score extremely well. I've heard people nothing but praise it so far. Sackboy, you're getting Demon Souls, Miles Morales, Godfall. Next year, you're getting Ratchet and Clank, which looks amazing. You're getting Gran Turismo. You're getting Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, Returnal, Kenna Bridge of Spirits, possibly Final Fantasy 16. There's so much stuff coming next year, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's the huge stuff that I'm talking about when it comes to what Microsoft and Sony are doing differently. So that you have to look forward to within your first year. Your first year. And then you look on the Xbox side, and I say this with no ill intention. What does Microsoft even have announced for 2021 aside from Halo? What do they even have announced?
Nothing that we're aware of.
Exactly. There's nothing. And if they did, and people will bring this argument up to me, Mooch, they go, they probably got something surprised. And I said, don't you think if they had anything that was, they thought, don't you think that they would be using that as a reason to promote the Xbox Series X instead of old games, literally anything is better than using old games. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it makes no sense to that. Like, if you had something, some hidden thing, then I would definitely say that would be a better thing to talk about than old games as a reason to talk it up. So, yeah, for me personally, you got to be able to have those reasons to sort of play what you're kind of, why you should buy their consoles. And that's not a knock. Like, Microsoft should have been much better and much more aware of what was going on,
Crap, let's talk about this. I didn't get these are some of the topics I didn't get a chance to get to on Crossfire, and I was really looking forward to it. Sony came out, and I think Jim Ryan made a couple of comments. I don't have his quotes, but in short, what he was saying was Sony's going to go a different route in acquiring talent moving forward. They're going to grow their first party organically versus major acquisitions like the one with ZeniMax, Bethesda, that Microsoft did. And we're seeing that already happen as we sit here, right? Crap, we've seen that with Insomniac Games. We're seeing that with deals they've made with Kojima Productions. We're seeing the deals with Blue Point coming to fruition. These are possibly going to be games that are shout out to Capone, who says, Mooch, don't forget Kenna is a PS4 game. It should have been ready. Well, they deliberately delayed that, Capone. Why? I don't know. I don't know if they want to make it better. I don't know what the deal is with that. But what do you think about that, Crap? I mean, as far as Sony's methodology in acquiring studios versus what Microsoft's doing with just a large drop in the bucket. And again, I think that when you see ZeniMax purchases like that at $7.5 billion, it's to acquire a massive amount of IP so they can fill Game Pass, because Game Pass has been a bit dry lately as far as new big games that have gone in, right?
Well, they constantly feed that beast. That's what that's all about.
Right. That's always hungry. You got to keep feeding it. Yes.
You've got to feed that beast, and I think that that's something that obviously that's what went into that. Also, they needed to make some kind of thing to get people excited. I fell for that excitement too. Remember, Mooch? I was like, yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah,
right. That's really exciting that they're able to be able to do that. And for me personally, but Microsoft has got to know in the back of their mind as well that, hey, we really are lacking with stuff to get people excited for the first few years of this new console. They've probably got to notice that, at the very least say, hey, there's something up with this. Like, people are starting to notice that we don't have anything, and I think that should be the main thing that people should be talking about. For the past couple of years that we've been talking like this, Mooch, we said, I know we were called fearmongers, by the way, that
Absolutely.
We know what these studios that they bought are working on. Even if they started right at this second, you're not going to have anything till 2022, 2023. And damn it, if we weren't right. It's not that we were hoping for that.
No.
Who had hopes for that?
No, who would want to go buy a box and then hey, boy, I can't wait to give this guy my money and then not play anything on it. I can't wait. No! Who would say something like that? It's ridiculous.
Exactly. You want there to be games. That's you want there to be games. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So you want there to be games. The fact that there's not is disappointing. And, I would love to see something, something from them. Why wouldn't you announce something?
Who do you think Sony's going to acquire as far as talent? I mean, where would you put your money
like
first?
Blue Point, or, they
Remedy,
make a lot of
maybe
sense.
Remedy?
Maybe. There's also House Marquee. They do pretty much exclusives or whatever anyway. So it makes a lot of, they don't have to make a $7.5 billion. I don't know how many studios Microsoft got from that. Do you know the number?
I believe it was 8 studios.
Was it 8 studios? Okay, yeah. Like Sony could probably pick up the 3 that we just mentioned for $600 million.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But on top of that, with a lot of things that are going on over at the Sony studios is what we thought Microsoft would do, but they're not. Remember, we've been saying for years, maybe 343 will split into 2 and do 2 different titles, maybe Coalition. That's
Jim,
what's going on.
Confirmed that, with what Guerrilla Games? They've got multiple games.
Yes.
Sony Santa Monica is working on a new IP, as well as the
Naughty Dog too.
Yep, Naughty Dog has a new IP. Also, Sony has a secret,
right?
Yeah, Sony has a secret, not so secret, San Diego studio that hired a bunch of ex-Naughty Dog people. So supposedly they're going to continue on with a new Naughty Dog game, a new Uncharted, excuse me. Yeah, So I think that would be cool. Right, look, that's a big franchise.
Dude, I welcome that with open arms.
I would love that,
wait. Yeah.
Why not?
If we were back in June right now, I would literally stream Uncharted 4 again.
Yeah, I mean they do such a good game, a good time with those games, and those games that like Uncharted 4 sold 20 million copies. If you're Sony, I would build a studio to make that franchise. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, why not? Why wouldn't you do that? Especially if you could...
Uncharted still has legs. Crap. That the fact that they haven't they really haven't overcrowded or smothered, if you will, that title. I know that we had Uncharted 4 and then we had Lost Legacy, but that's it for this entire generation, right? And then all of a sudden, what do? You turn around and that same studio that made this generation comes out with what will probably win Game of the Year in The Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
And like you said, now Naughty Dog's got another new IP that they're working on. I think of Naughty Dog a lot like how Jerry Seinfeld, remember when he used to say the reason Seinfeld, the show, and you guys are going to like this. It's funny because I still think of Seinfeld not as that old, but it is pretty old now. But Seinfeld legitimately could have done another 3 or 4 seasons of that show, but he said he wanted to go out on top. And if you listen to, and I'm paraphrasing, I'm not putting words in Neil Druckmann's mouth, but Neil Druckmann said something very similar to the fact of, same thing with Uncharted. They didn't want to keep making Uncharted 10, Uncharted 12. They wanted to make The Last of Us. Now, The Last of Us had an unbelievable amount of success at the end of the PS3, then the remaster at the beginning of this generation, and then The Last of Us 2, of course, probably getting Game of the Year this year. Just more than likely. If not, it's going to be a very close runner-up. But now here they are, crap. They could make a Last of Us 3, a Last of Us 4, right? No. What do? They want to take their talent and move on to another IP. Yeah. That's daring and just it's so that creative gene they got over there. They just want to keep making something new and making something better. I find that to be and that's what I think when you heard them say we're going to grow organically in terms of internal. They're going to do that with their internal studios. They're going to take the amount of amazing dev talent that they have and split them up into making new games. And we already saw that with Guerrilla Games. We're seeing that going to happen again with Naughty Dog as they branch off again to make a new IP. Yeah. They've handed off Uncharted to another developing team. And then, crap, you said yourself that there's a unsecret new developing team underway that's working on a new IP.
It looks like you're going to get Ghost of Tsushima 2. You're going to get a Days Gone 2. They're probably with a little bit more money involved with that. And I just feel like if you play these games, listen, I understand that Days Gone scored poorly, and that's on Sony for sending out Sony for sending out those review copies without the day one patch. If you're playing a broken game, I mean, come on, you got to be better than that. But that game, once it was patched, I never experienced any of the problems that a lot of the people that were reviewing it experienced. That was an 80+ meta game, in my opinion, all day long. So I'm glad that enough people bought it and supported it to get another one. And I'm really looking forward to playing. Like how could you not want to play a sequel to that? They did a good job, and they even added on to stuff, right? Like, if you want to be honest, they added on to what they gave you, like a free horde mode. Like, people really love. People really love Legends from that, and people love.
I gotta play that today. Listen, and shame on me. Shout out to Saltiest Gaming. Salt reached out to me mid last week. He's like, "Mooch, what are you doing right now?" I said, "I got some time." And he goes, "All right, let's play." So I went to go get on. I ended up getting a phone call, and the phone call went literally 2 hours. I thought it was gonna be about a half an hour, so I missed out. I want to play Legends this maybe sometime today if I get a chance. Because I'm hearing nothing but amazing things.
Yeah, people love it. They say it's better than a lot of the stuff that we're seeing from these other games. You know what I mean? That do that kind of stuff. So, I think that's fantastic that happens. That we're able to sort of see how they're able to add on just like a free bonus. It's like a free bonus, and I love that. I think that's really smart thing to do to keep people invested in playing your game long terms or whatever. You know what I mean? I think that's awesome. That's a fantastic thing that they're able to do. So yeah, I definitely love what they're doing, and I think that it's very smart. Especially like Legends wasn't even an announced part of that prior, right? Because it probably wouldn't have been met very well. Oh man, you're adding this, and this. But as something that got added as a bonus for free, I think that's exactly what people want. So yeah, I love it.
Legends
smack that Big Ben. Hit his ass on the ground.
I was gonna say Legends is amazing. I just hit the level cap about 2 days ago, and haven't run the raid yet. That just came out this Friday. But
is the raid up indefinitely, Nova, or do you have to do it during a set amount of time?
No, it looks like there indefinitely. They just patched
Okay, good.
it in, so you're able to do it now as of Friday.
Well, maybe Nova, you should take Crap and I through that and see if we can get. I see T-Rock in the chat says, "Let's go, Mooch. I got you today." Mr. Twister's in the super chat.
Real.
He says, "I think Sony will acquire Konami IP." I've seen a lot of people saying this. Castlevania rumor, remember? Metal Gear Solid. He says Silent Hill as well. Also, don't forget, what is it? Malaysian studio working on a big PlayStation IP as well. Mr. Twister with some that's some good knowledge right there. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of people, I saw a lot of videos come out in the past 5 days really talking about that Silent Hill rumor crap. They're saying Sony will announce that by the end of this year. That will be made. It's supposed to be an announcement between Konami.
They're saying, well, the rumor is that they're going to announce the Silent Hill game at the Game Awards December 10th.
Right. Well, remember, so last year when Microsoft announced the Series X reveal, that was when Sony made that deal with Gearbox. That's the publisher in this case. But for Godfall, I think you're right. So I think Sony wants to have another big game. That would be a landslide victory as far as announcements at the Game Awards, because that's Silent Hill and that PT game that everybody's been clamoring for. If that's something that actually comes to fruition in not the same fashion, but similar, crap. I mean, that we've been asking. People have been asking for that all generation.
Even though probably people will be like, "Oh, whatever." I think they're secretly already doing Death Stranding 2.
So that's the discussion piece. Kojima has been hiring, so we don't know if it's going to be a new IP. And honestly, crap, if I'm a betting man, I'm going to go ahead and put money on a new IP. Because I love Death Stranding, okay?
I liked it too. I liked it a lot.
I don't think it's for everybody.
Well, I think part of having your own studio, Mooch, is you can make games that don't have to be for everybody. He even said that. He's like, this game isn't going to be for everybody.
Okay.
So, I mean, listen, wouldn't it be easier? He's got the Decima engine already working to make they made Death Stranding, believe it or not, in 3 years. Right. So I could imagine them making a sequel to that pretty quickly. You're going to have to, if you want to be able to come out with your games at a pretty good clip. I think the fact that these consoles are easier to develop for than previous consoles should help some, but you want people to switch over to your console. You got to have got content, it's like, you got to have that content ready to go and going quite often. So that's my opinion anyway.
No, something that totally holds water. Shout out to in the chat V Nexa. He says, Mooch, I sent you something interesting on Twitter regarding the PS5 storage space. There's a video out, and I don't know who the individual is. Shout out to Videotech. They said that the PS5 will have 712 gigabytes of usable memory after the OS. I like I said, here's the thing though, V Nexa, I can't comment on that. And believe me, within the next 12 days, we're surely going to find out about that. So I appreciate the I will watch the video after the show. I can't watch it right now, but I will check it out and see if there's any kind of credit to go to that, or if it's just someone's basically hypothesis and they're trying to prove it on the video. That I don't know. So listen, either way, look, both of these consoles are coming in under a terabyte. And, at some point, I said this in a podcast a couple weeks ago when the whole external storage stuff was being discussed with the SSDs. My recommendation to save you guys some money is go out there, and if you can, if it's within your means, and get yourself a PS5, a Series X, and next year. Shout out to Cridge91. He says, what's up, Mooch? What's up, Cridge? Appreciate you being here. Go out there and enjoy the consoles this year, because even if you get 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 games, depending on which games they are, they'll fit on your internal storage. And next holiday, when the prices drop a bit on both sides, you go out and worry about your external storage. Because now, crap, me and you talked about this. You can use your 3.0 USB external storage that we have for today's generation. You can move the games back and forth there for extra storage. You can't play it off of your external if it's a PS5 game or a Series X dedicated game, but you can move it over to your current 3.0 external, and then you can move it back over when you want to play it. So you already have probably plenty of external storage right now. It's just going to be a bit of a nuisance in the moving left to right from external to internal until we get the externals that are capable for a reasonable price. Crap, you agree with that?
I agree 100%. I think that's the smart thing to do, sort of all around, listen, I've got all these extra hard drives. You know what I mean? I'm not just going to waste them.
Why waste them?
Yeah, exactly. So you could just shuffle things around. Probably won't be till next year sometime that I actually, just like you, go out there and actually buy something that's able to be like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's no sense in me adding on to the bill. I'd rather get games instead right now. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I'd rather be able to have some extra games and stuff, and maybe I'll delete games if I beat them. And
well, why wouldn't you? Listen, I'll give you a prime example. Crap, this is my goal. Will it happen? Time will tell. My goal is to platinum Miles Morales. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I platinum Miles Morales, after I platinum it and there's no other DLC, because of the situation we're talking about with internal storage on both consoles kind of being a little bit in the question mark, I'm going to delete that or move it over to my external, and then I'm going to free up my internal storage on my PS5. Why? Because once I get my platinum, am I going to be excited? I got Godfall, I've got Demon Souls, right? I got games to play and then I'm probably going to get another third party. I'm probably going to end up grabbing Call of Duty. I'm going to be buying Call of Duty on every. Boy, they're really going to get their money out of the mooch this time. Probably be playing that all over the place. I'm gonna pick it up real quick, right? I do like Call of Duty. D-Day Rays, it says, "What are you gonna do? Raise Bloodborne to adulthood and Death Stranding?" No, I'm sorry, that's not Bloodborne. I saw BB, it's Bloodborne, but it's the BB. Raise BB to adulthood. He's saying, "What are you gonna do? That for the sequel crap? That your BB will actually become an adult?"
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be great. I wonder who they get to play that role besides Norman Reedus. Capone comes in. He says, "You have 45 days after the 12th to get extended warranty." Guys, listen, this has nothing to do with this generation. On all of my consoles, my Xbox Series X and my PlayStation 5, I have extended warranties. I recommend you do the same. Nobody wants to go spend the $500 and then the extra, whatever the companies are asking for, $68 or $100 or $100, whatever it is. Nobody wants to spend that extra money. But really, guys, when you're getting new technology right off the line in a situation like this, you might end up getting like a lemon. You want to, that $68 or whatever they're charging. I can't remember what GameStop charged for the 2-year. I think the 2-year was like, $70-$80, and the 1 year was like $40-$50, whatever. It's worth that extra money because you don't want to get a lemon. So if you end up getting that, you can go back the very next day. Well, the problem here, crap, is even with a great warranty, they may not have another console to give you.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks. So
I mean, I can remember when you got an Xbox One X and Mikey Barr was like, "That don't sound good, Chief."
Yeah, that don't sound right to me. It was making when I got this Project Scorpio right off the line, boy, that did not sound good. It did not sound good at all. It was making all kinds of noises. And I sent a video clip to Mikey Barr, and he's like, "Dude, I'm telling you right now, that's not how it should sound. Go make sure if you got the warranty on it, make sure you go get another." And I did. The very next day, I went and got one. Robert Smith says, "I don't want a lemon." Nobody does.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I'm just looking forward. I have so many with Call of Duty being cross-play. You don't really need to buy it everywhere. But it's just Warzone is just I can't stop playing Warzone. It's a me problem. Shout out to James Vincent if he's still in the chat. We're probably going to get together again on Monday nights. Seem to be a big Call of Duty night for me. I've kind of made that. I've elected that to be my day to play. But yeah, crap. That's just one of the things I want to kind of talk about. Well, we were talking about acquisition of different studios. When Sony acquired Insomniac Games, did you think that they would be able to pull off what they're pulling off? What a team this is. Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
They made the movie basically come to life in the video game with the same movie animations and actions.
You know what's funny was seeing people say that was like a frame rate issue. They obviously never watched the Into the Spider-Verse thing. That's how how Miles Morales swings. Right. Yeah, that was done deliberately. So they did a really good job with that. And listen, they like Insomniac Games is one of those top tier studios. Like, and even Jim Ryan was saying, who's on our level of Naughty Dog and Sony Santa Monica and Guerrilla Games and Insomniac Games and and he's right. Who's in that level? I don't really think that there isn't much people that are on that level. So it really makes sense for them to kind of go after that, maybe do things a little bit organically, building up your own thing to have that kind of quality. Everybody's going to buy studios. I think that it's just like a lot of people were questioning, well, what is Sony going to do to combat what Microsoft just did? I think that's really, what people were kind of talking up. Like, they've got to respond. They've got to buy this, and this, and they really don't. They really don't. I mean, they can. No, they don't. They can get something down the line, but honestly, I don't think they're in a rushed frenzy to do that. They don't have a Game Pass situation where you literally have to, have everything going in there, all the time.
They don't need it, crap. That's why there's sizzlers out there that have buffets. And why doesn't every restaurant have a buffet? Because every restaurant doesn't need a buffet. They don't need to pay one price, eat all you can handle. A lot of places are just like, I've been to some restaurants in New York. Crap, they literally have like 5 things on the menu.
Exactly.
5. Not 15, not 25, 5. And they're like, we make these amazing dishes, and this is what you're going to eat or don't eat here. Like, that's really – so I want to say shout out again to Anthony Vasquez. He's unable to do a super chat, but he did give another great donation. Thank you for that. And he says, great thing about backwards compatible games on PS5, I get to play or finish games like Days Gone, Death Stranding, Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, etc. Since my PS4 broke about a year ago, and since I knew new consoles were coming, I didn't bother to buy a PS4 again. All enhanced. It's great. Plus all the launch games. That's Anthony. And Anthony's a big – by the way, guys, Anthony's a huge Xbox fan. So he's saying that that's what he'll be doing and taking advantage of as he goes into the PS5 era. So shout out to Anthony again. Thank you for the donation, Anthony. Yeah, crap. I mean, that's exactly it. Not everything. Sony knows this. Jim Ryan has said it, and I think even Herman has come out and said it. And said we don't necessarily we give our first party games a different treatment, a different look, a different feel than the way our competitor does it. And it was a very professional way of saying we don't need Game Pass. Does that mean that they won't have a? But I'll tell you this much. You know what we never talk about on this channel? Crap, we don't even talk about it. I don't hear you really talk about it. PS Now, which by the way, I'm not promoting it because I'm not going to get PS Now. But if you go and look at PS Now versus Game Pass, there's some people who would argue PS Now is better than Game Pass.
I've said that. Like, I'm like, listen.
It's a debate. It's a debate for sure.
It is because the big thing about Xbox Game Pass is really depending on those big AAA exclusives day and date.
The first party.
Yeah, when they haven't had those in over a year, that I think that's a bit of a problem, and so it makes it look
diminished a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So you look at it, and I mentioned this to somebody else because somebody's like, get access to 800 games or whatever with Game Pass Ultimate for $180 a year. You get all these games and all this, and you get EA Play. And I said, well, you can get PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Now, and EA Play, all 3 cheaper than $180 a year on Game Pass Ultimate, and people just like were mystified by that. I was like, yeah, it's true. You can get all 3 of those things combined for $150 a year on PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And you would have access to over 1,100, I think it's 1,200 games a year that way. You know what I'm saying? Because look, the PlayStation Collection is getting you 20 really solid games to start off with. Right? And that's not to mention stuff like Destruction. All-Stars, a brand new IP from Sony, right? You're going to get, Bugsnax isn't my thing, but, you're going to be able to play some of the stuff the newer stuff. Like, what's Microsoft going to offer at the launch with Games with Gold? Like, Games with Gold, they've already seemed to really have kind of abandoned it.
Yeah.
No,
I agree.
Did you see that lineup? Okay. The lineup that we saw was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
I can't really argue with you.
I do have something to say about PlayStation Now. So I don't have PlayStation Now either, but when I had Hip Hop Gamer on my show, he was telling me that you should care about PlayStation Now and you should really pay attention, that there's a lot of stuff they haven't said about it, and that we can expect, not new titles, but new titles in the form of like PlayStation 3 games, PS1, PS2, that they're really going to be pushing back compat through that specifically. So I'm excited to see what they say about it. I know we're so close to launch, but PS Now, this whole rebrand, we haven't heard anything about it. So it's still interesting to see what they got.
And I'm glad you bring that up because I think that interview you had with Hip Hop Gamer was awesome, by the way, Nova. And
thank you. I
think that PS Now will be expanding and getting bigger and bigger, and Sony may throw more other perks into that as we progress through this next generation. Shout out to SW Guard. He says, and crap, I think that you either I'm not sure if you did a video on it, but I saw you discussing it yesterday on Twitter when the whole Assassin's Creeds are not working on PlayStation 5. What was that? What was that all about? Wasn't that a misunderstanding because Ubisoft came back out?
They put like 8 or 9 games of theirs weren't going to work, quote unquote, with PS5. And then they took that down, the article and everything, and said that it might not be right or might not be accurate or what have you. So, you know, I who knows at this point, right? It's the same thing with like our game's going to run. Is Assassin's Creed going to run 4K native 60 frames on Xbox Series X? Is it upscaled 4K? Like, who cares? I got to be honest, right? Both these companies seem like they do this whole KG, not 4K. What does it mean to you, kind of thing, right? Like, listen, who cares if the games are looking pretty much the same and you're getting a good frame rate? Does it really matter? Like, to me, it doesn't. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. And so many people now are saying that, and I know a lot of people in the Xbox camp are going to go, "Oh, now we're saying that." Listen, times change, guys. Times change. That's not me dictating this. It's just saying, like, people are literally saying 1440p, 60 frames. Give me that. You know, give me that. So, like, that's nobody's really truly caring as much about the whole native 4K, especially with the, what is that, DLSS that's out there now?
Yeah. You know, the machine learning and stuff. Yeah.
You know, and, you know, shout out to SW. He says, Mooch, that's good to know when we were talking about the Ubisoft stuff. He says, I'm waiting until launch to see what happens, because after I'm done sleuth all the new games, I will go back to playing my favorite games. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the other thing I always say to people. Wait until this next generation kicks off. And a lot of this bickering and bantering that's been going on, it all goes away. It all goes away. Because you know what happens on November 10th and November 12th? I got news for you guys. The whole, like, architecture of the Xbox and the VRS and the this and that, it all don't matter. It all
the architectures.
Nobody's going to care. It's going to be about what games come out and how hyped everybody is to play video games. That's all it is, because that's what we're here to do, right? Shout out to Xbot448. He says, what's going on, people? Guys, check out Xbot. I'm going to actually give him a plug here. Xbot's got his Series X podcast on tonight with Jamie Moran. Do go over and check out the great Xbot448. Do check him out. Xbot, good to see you here this morning. Shout out to James Vincent. He says, still here, was driving. Warzone for sure tomorrow night, brother. I got you. James, count me in. It's a done deal. Just consider it a done deal. It's happening. Monday nights at Warzone. It's like something I'm just tattooed in my brain. So shout out to James Vincent. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, crap. I mean, you know, just another fun topic here as we kind of get our Sunday morning ready for some football. Sports! Xbox, the Series X refrigerator crap. The great Aaron Greenberg comes out and says that, would you be interested if we sold Xbox Series X mini fridges? Oh, that was refreshing to see. What did you take?
Well,
I mean, anything on that?
My take is, I don't know. Like, I mean, honestly, if only they would sell some new games, I think that would be the thing that sort of, you know, like, I don't like the aspect that they push everything else. It's like, we get it. You guys are trying to make the best out of a bad situation where everybody's making fun of the console. It looks like a refrigerator, but at the same time, you know, deliver the games, and then you could do this other kind of cheesy stuff.
That's the thing, right? These things can be fun, but they're fun when they're in addition to, right? Not when they're the only thing I'm hyped up about. I mean, don't get me wrong. Is it cool? I can actually see in my office, actually, crap. It would be pretty cool right here where I'm setting everything up.
It's not a good idea. I just think
Xbox Series X mini fridge would be kind of funny to have that here and have some great, you know, like some G Fuel, right? Get some things in here. Well, I'm still waiting for my G Fuel and what do you call it? They're not endorsement, but I want to get picked up by those guys. Crap.
Exactly. Like, listen, I think that's a good idea. I just think that it's like there's so many other things to get right first, right? Get the games right. That's that to me is like the most important thing.
The Ori onesies and the refrigerators aside for a second, and let's get a deal cut here for a game that shows off the Series X. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's my entire point the whole time. You know, let's see if you can't get something for us to play before you get us a fridge to keep our snacks.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. So, yeah,
you know, and
my opinion.
I kind of did a little side segment there. I thought it'd be fun to get your opinion on that. But you know, we were talking about Game Pass and PS Now, and you know, Todd Howard and a bunch of people came out and said certain things. And the quote that was out there was, "It's hard to imagine." That's end quote. And then it goes on to say Elder Scrolls 6 not on multiple platforms. Crap. Remember we were talking about that a little bit on Crossfire as well. I mean, listen, this is my stance on Bethesda games moving forward. And guys, I could be 100% wrong, and that's fine. There's really nobody knows at this point. Even Todd Howard seems to not know what's going on. Like my point being is I think when you have games like Fallout 5 or you have games like Doom, I could see those remaining because they're household names. I could see Microsoft wanting to capitalize on that on multiple platforms. I mean, Doom's even on the Switch right now, right? So my point being is that it's everywhere. I would think if you want to make a case for Xbox exclusivity, Game Pass PC only would probably be like a new IP, like a Starfield, possibly. But even Elder Scrolls, I think that may even remain multi-plat because they want to get that out there. You know, the more usage in that world, I think that's the more people that talk about it. And I think that when you're making a $7.5 billion acquisition, the way that they made a $2.5 billion deal for Minecraft with Mojang, like, they want that everywhere. I mean, Minecraft is everywhere, and people go, well, Mooch, Minecraft was always everywhere. Okay. So let's keep the same energy, right? Keeping the same energy is, well, Fallout's been everywhere. Elder Scrolls has been everywhere, right? Doom has been everywhere. Yeah. So wouldn't you keep that everywhere, and then keep like a game like Starfield that may be a games as a service? Maybe keep that. I don't know if it's a games as a service. I made that up. I don't know. But if it is, right, wouldn't that be a case for maybe putting that exclusively on the Xbox?
Yeah.
What's your take on it?
I for me personally, I think like this is what I would say. Does it really matter? Listen, if Microsoft can make some money off of it, great. If Microsoft keeps it on their stuff, like literally, there's going to be a million other places where you can play those games if they're not on PlayStation, right? You're going to be able to probably play them on a TV, on a Chrome stick, on a phone, or on a tablet, or on a PC, on an Xbox, maybe an Xbox One even. Like, pick something up for hell. The Xbox Series S will probably be $150 by the time those games come out, right? So you'll have options. You might not be able to play them on your preferred platform, but they're going to be accessible to everybody. So to me personally, I don't care. You know me, I'm not a big Bethesda fan. The last Bethesda game I beat was Skyrim on the 360, right? Like that should go to tell you. I don't even bother. I've said this, Mooch, like even games that I thought looked okay, I'm like, I'll wait a couple months because those games drop in half price within a couple months.
They do.
Okay. I didn't even bother buying Doom.
They do, and they have. Yeah.
I was like, Doom's going to Doom's going to cut down in price within a month or two. And it did, you know what I'm saying? And like that's to me, like anyway, that's just how I sort of look at this situation. I don't really look at it as, oh well, what's going to happen? Like, are they going to come to? It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. And that's not me capping or any that people. Oh, it's crap. No, I don't play Bethesda games. I hate Fallout. I've hated Fallout for years, right? Mooch, you know this. I hate Fallout. I don't like those games. I didn't bother with Prey or Prey 2 or whatever the hell it is, and I didn't play the hell's that other game that they put out?
Dishonored.
Dishonored. I didn't play Dishonored.
That wasn't my jam either.
It was good, but I didn't play Dishonored 1 or 2. I didn't even bother. I didn't pick those up. I didn't play, I played the first Wolfenstein. I got stuck somewhere, gave it up. I owned the second one. I never went back to it. I never started it, right? Like, again, these aren't my particular thing. Like, I'm not saying they're bad games. I'm just saying Bethesda games aren't technically my thing that I'm super interested in. You know what I mean? So, that's just my opinion anyway. Like, if you like them and you're excited for those Bethesda games, more onto you. Maybe Starfield will be that game for me, and that's what I'll have an Xbox for. Right. If that's the case, right? Like, or, maybe you get a PC or what have you. There's going to be multiple different ways to play these games and it is what it is, Like, you got to take the good with your bad if you're a PlayStation fan, right? Well, you got Spider-Man exclusive, whatever. Like, they got to buy a PlayStation to play that. Maybe you got to buy an Xbox or a PC to play that shit. Like, it's really on you. Like, that's how it is. I'm totally for Microsoft making all those games exclusive. All of them. Make them all exclusive. That's fine.
It's fine. If they do that, like, you're not going to hear me. I'm not going to complain. That's fine. That is completely within their right. Xbox 448 says there's nothing wrong with established Bethesda franchises remaining multi-plat. There's also nothing wrong with that. I agree.
Yeah.
But Microsoft's going to make money either way, crap.
I agree, 100%.
So, I mean, they'll make more money if it goes multi-plat. The one thing I want to talk about before we leave today, guys, is I think there's a lot of people in the chat have been talking about this crap, and we've no one's really brought it up. Is there going to be a problem for all the gamers that want to get their hands on a PS5 or a Series X this holiday if they don't have a pre-order? It sounds like it's going to be very scarce to get your hands on one until early 2021, until production has enough ramped up to send back out for a third or fourth wave, if you will. Do you think that gamers are going to be able? I've been trying to look at things, the glass a little bit half full.
I don't think this year you're going to ever go into a store and find them sitting on the shelf.
Not on the shelf, but I do think if you're very persistent, here's my thing. In a professional way, be very persistent. If you keep in touch with your brick and mortar stores, because online's tough. Online's tough with all the bots out there and everybody scooping up, items before, you know what I mean, before they even go on sale.
Yeah.
But if you're very persistent and you call up, every other day or so and you give a buzz, or you stop by your local GameStop or Walmart, Target, Best Buy, and you keep your ears to the ground and your eyes peeled, I really think that you could probably. I think they're going to get do you remember back in the day when we were all younger, you'd have your SNES or you had your other gaming consoles that came out back in and you'd have to call and they'd be like, yeah, we actually just got 3 in randomly. I think that they'll get random deliveries.
I think we'll have to pre-order and order and hope to catch them online or whatever. I don't think they're ever going to see this year anyway.
Yeah.
Because they don't want lines, right? Like Sony in particular they're forbidding people to stock these things like that, right? That's an actual thing. I did a video on it. They're actually forbidding these companies to stock any of this stuff like that. So, again, I do feel like that's something that people have to take into consideration. You might be able to go and buy them on the stores and stuff like that, online. But I don't think, I think they'll be like, oh, we got some on stock or whatever.
Right.
Right. But I don't think you're going to be able to go there and buy them, in like that. That's just my opinion. Just from what we've heard, and apparently Microsoft is almost the same thing, where they're not allowing these stores to have stock in there because they don't want all these lines and stuff like that during we're still in the middle of a pandemic. In fact, I just mentioned this too. Me and Nova were talking about this. The UK just shut everything down again.
Yeah,
literally, you can't do anything till December or something.
Is that happened today, or is that?
I guess it's happening. I guess it is. Yeah.
Well,
I
a lot of people are concerned about that because now
give them a couple days. They give people a couple days to. Yeah.
Yeah. Boris Johnson says they're going to another shutdown for sure.
Yep.
They're closing.
Wait till the consoles are out, for crying out loud.
I know, right?
I know.
At least let people have their entertainment, for the month of November and December. That's unfortunate, and I wish all of our UK brothers and sisters, I hope they're able to go out and at least, pick up any pre-orders. Maybe they'll be open for a short period of time. I don't know. Yeah. I did see people discussing it over the weekend, but I didn't know if they still, when I last read into it, it seemed like it was on the table, but it wasn't confirmed. So I hope that's not the case. But yeah, a lot of people are, shout out to S.W. Guard. He said because of the situation out there and the lockdown coming this Thursday, he says all shops apart from essentials are forced to close. That's not fair or fun for the folks in the UK when they've been looking so forward to this time. So I don't know. I hope that they can change that and make it so that they can pick up an item, or two. I don't know. I'm sure gaming's not an essential item as far as the governments are concerned, but nonetheless. But getting back to what I was saying, I think if you're persistent enough, I do think that you'll find a couple that kind of show up in your local brick and mortar, whether it be again Best Buy, Walmart, Target, GameStop. You'll have opportunities, but you've got to try. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is. Shout out to Sir X-Man. He says, Mooch, share out the Bethesda games to other consoles, but keep special DLC and exclusive perks to your console. Sony does it all the time. No, that's not true, Sir X-Man. You can't. I don't think you could say, hey, Fallout 5 is everywhere, but Fallout 5 DLC is only on Xbox. That's. I don't think that would float. Crap, that doesn't hold water, right? You can't do that. If you're going to release the game, you have to release it on all consoles.
Really?
You don't think so? Could you release Fallout 5 on PS5 and then say the DLC is exclusive to Xbox?
No.
I don't think
you can't do that.
No. But I will say something. What Bethesda has done, and this has gone back for a little bit, when it came to games like Skyrim or even I know Skyrim for sure. And, Skyrim and Fallout 4. You could have access to mods on Xbox where you couldn't on PlayStation, but that's because PlayStation said we didn't want that. So that is something to point out as well. But we have seen that where
Well, shout out
Microsoft
to
is out there on
that's
Thursday.
interesting. Nova rated D for demonic. This is an interesting thing for everyone to know. He says you could prepay at Game, which is I believe Game is Game. That's the version of
Games UK.
GameStop over in the UK.
Yeah.
From tomorrow till Wednesday. Then we open for 5 hours on the 10th to pick up your Xbox. No announcement yet on PS5. It'll probably be the same thing. That's outstanding. Shout out to Rated D Demonic. Thank you for that. Thank you for putting that out there. That's awesome. A lot of people may have not known about that. I did see something about that, but the fact that you're saying that you'll be open for 5 hours on the 10th if there is a shutdown, that's still amazing. So shout out to Rated D Demonic, who's a Mooch Maniac family member. Thank you so much for that information. Well, Sir X-Man goes, Mooch, I meant special DLC. I don't think it works that way, Sir X-Man. Once you put a game out, you've got to allow the DLC. What you're referring to are deals Sony cuts very similar to Call of Duty. So they have Cold War, right? And they have that zombie, that duos and zombies that's a year exclusive to the PS5 platform. That's different. Timed exclusive, maybe, but you couldn't just keep DLC from somebody. If they wanted to find out how a game was going to continue after they just played Fallout 5, for example, using this as an example, folks, then you can't say that you can't continue that DLC and let the person not know how the game finishes because you're on the wrong console. It doesn't
Exactly.
work.
Yeah.
So shout out to all the new people that just showed up. I don't know wherever we're running. The show's just about to end. So great to see everybody here, guys.
People
Please
just getting a notification now.
Hey,
Jeez.
people are just getting notifications. I don't know what's going on. People were saying earlier in the show that YouTube wasn't sending out notifications, so I don't know if that's the situation. I do want to say to everybody that's here, thank you so much. Please do hit the subscribe button, guys. We do Crossfire every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We do our MNC show. This week is on my channel. Next week will be on Crap's channel. The great Nova here, too, as well, to have all the information from him. And I say this all the time on Crossfire. I want you guys to know, working with Nova and a few other very talented people, the Crossfire podcast that we do on Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time on this channel here is getting an unbelievable facelift. We are doing an amazing job to making the show look, sound, and just play better. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're hoping to launch the week of, or it'll be the week after the new consoles. So it's just a few weeks away. We're very excited to show what we've been working on for about a month. It's going to be great. Please do hit the subscribe button. It means the world to the Mooch. Please do hit the like button also on the way out. Crap, anything you'd like to plug?
Just, Crap Gamer Reviews. Check it out if you haven't already done so. All that kind of good stuff. Got usually a video a day or so, so appreciate it.
Guys, so many people here now, too. Crap, I almost want to go another hour, but, we're almost at the 2-hour mark here. So many great people just showed up. Outstanding to have such an outstanding audience. Guys, we love all things gaming. We kind of went over about 13 topics today on today's show. So, guys, everybody that was a little bit late to the show, please do listen to the show again later on. Check it out. Nova, what would you like to plug? I know you got a lot of things coming up.
Really looking forward to console launch. Everyone check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/NovaInsomniac. I do a podcast every Thursday, the Insomniacs podcast. It's really fun. We have great guests on, and look forward to Mooch and Crap being on there really soon too.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Crap, we got sports, right? Sports! Everybody's going to be watching some football here in the States. I know that.
Yeah.
Guys, we got to listen. This is the week. This is the week. It's going to be a lot of fun to podcast, talk games this entire week because it's the lead up to the eventual week that we've been waiting for, November 10th and 12th here. And I believe it'll be November 19th over in the UK, in Europe, as far as release of the PS5. But outstanding. Shout out to Halo Mocha. Shout out to everybody in the super chat today. Guys, right above the description is the join button if you want to join the channel and become a member of the Mooch Maniac family. I can't say thank you enough to everybody that we have here. Shout out to the 531 that showed up this morning. Outstanding. Well, it's this afternoon now in New York, but nonetheless, it's morning somewhere. And thanks to YouTube for finally sending out the notifications, apparently.
Yeah, like, share, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. We appreciate you guys. We'll be back.
We'll be back next week, guys. We'll catch you. See you Friday night, too, for Crossfire. Nova, take us out.
Later.